My name is Bourbon.
It's a stupid YouTube contest. I don't understand how this is supposed to be something legit. I mean, obviously there is nothing legit to it. It's a stupid YouTube contest. I don't really care about blinds.
My name is Bourbon.
Breeze really won. If he wins the whole thing, Matt can't do this again.
My name is Bourbon.
It's a stupid YouTube contest. I don't understand how this is supposed to be something legit. I mean, obviously there is nothing legit to it. It's a stupid YouTube contest. I don't really care about blinds.
My name is Bourbon.
Breeze really won. If he wins the whole thing, Matt can't do this again.
What's going on? I'm Bourbon, and this is Whiskey Uncensored. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a different kind of program because we're going to have a pretty special guest. And we're going to go through a whole bunch of whiskey because it is Burns night. So we are going to go through at least 8 different single malt picks, looking over at them, from around the world, from Australia, the United States, Israel, Scotland, of course, all over the place. And this was supposed to be a little earlier, but Irene didn't forget, but whatever. There was a conflict, and she should be on her way. I expect her by 10:30, so I figured I'd open it up a little early, say hello to people, have a little warm-up scotch. I'm warming up with one of my favorites, a little Glen 12. And, yeah, figure we'll say hello to people. And, yeah, changing the setup here a little bit. Wondering, is the audio level okay? Do I need to make it louder? If anybody could tell me that, I would appreciate it. Because I did move the microphone. It is over here now. So I'd be curious if it sounds fine. And, yeah, we'll see. Okay. Bonnie's here, and she says audio sounds good. All right, cool. Because I moved some stuff around. I moved the camera back a little. I don't believe I have crotch cam anymore. We'll probably test that later tonight. I am figuring there may be an open pub, may bring people in for some questions with Irene. We'll see how it goes, because last I knew, Mark also over at Northwest Bourbon had a distillery on tonight. So I want to make sure we may overlap him a little bit, but I do want to make sure we, support Mark as well. So trying to figure this all out. And, yeah, let's see. I'm just checking right now to see if Mark's got his stream posted. Why would I be able to tell? No, I don't want to look up North Korea. Unbelievable. I need some scotch. Cheers. He does. He has Bainbridge on tonight at midnight. So want to, support all the things. Irene and I may go a little late. We'll see. But then maybe she'll even stay to hang out and bring some people in. So, yeah, I'm a little jumbled. I've been moving equipment around, bottles around. Even got a bit of a Stream Deck thing happening over here now. So I'll be playing around with that, maybe loading in some sound clips. Did the sound clip work? Can people tell me? So, as you all know, well, as many know, Bonnie got me the upgraded camera. I've got an upgraded mic, but I didn't get that going yet. So, yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. I don't know. Let's see who's here. Let's drink some scotch to warm up. And while we wait for Irene, I should check to see if she sent me a status. As I have a text, there is possible. Let's see here. She says 10:34 I'll be there. So that's 11 minutes. We'll see. Let's see who's here. Let's see what's happening. Mr. Jigs is here. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Jigs. Cheech is here. Epic. Shit. Thanks, brother. Cheers, man. The franchise is here. Actually, let me go back. Let me do this the way I always do it. Cheech Artolino, otherwise known as Whiskey Encore. If you're here, you're probably subscribed to him already, but if you aren't, go give him a sub. Tuesdays late night, sometimes Saturdays late night, and he also has a big event coming up in February in Florida, so go give him a sub. Then I'll go back to the franchise and say I have no idea what's going on, neither do I. That is also known as the World's Worst Bourbon Channel, and if you want to see some of the most epic, awful content you've ever seen, you need to go check out the World's Worst Bourbon Channel. So cheers, Gary. Mr. Great Shot, also one half of Bourbon Bounty in the house. Ooh, can't wait for the stream. Gonna pour some Irene Tan picks now. That's a good idea. You should give Bourbon Bounty a sub. Maybe you'll win some entries to win something 4 times a year. Cheers. William Reynolds in the house. Hello and cheers. Cheers, sir. Brian, Slapshots Roadhouse in the house. Cheers, all. Cheers, Brian. Did I put your wood out of reach? That would upset me. I may have put your wood out of reach. Well, if you like to see a man handle his wood, you should check out Slapshots Roadhouse. Oh, yeah, I did put it out of reach. Here it is. This is a beautiful piece of Brian's wood that I could put in my mouth. Just saying. Cheers, Brian. Bourbon Baller Lee in the house. Cheers, brother. Send me an update. Bourbon Neophyte in the house. Another great channel. Cheers, all you magnificent whiskey people. Cheers, Anthony. And if you want some calm, selective, wonderful content while wearing a hat, you need to check out Bourbon Neophyte. And apparently my camera decided to just start following me around. I need to stop that. So I got to do this because my camera is self-aware. Daniel Sutherland in the house. Cheers, man. How you doing? Bill Bauer in the house. Cheers, y'all. Good evening. Cheers, Bill. Tony Two Toes in the house. Hey, man. Cheers to you and Irene. Cheers to you, brother. How you doing? Mr. Great Shot. Sweet Shirt Man. Yeah, this is Whiskey Mountain's 2023 fundraiser Alzheimer's shirt. Gotta rep the community, you know? Thank you. Even though it is still, even though I've lost a lot of weight, it's still, I'll call it form-fitting. But I've got a lot to go. I know, Tony, but it's so late. I don't know if we're going to do that. We'll talk about that. You know, if we had been starting at 9 like planned, it would be a little different. I don't know if we're going to do that now. See Jackson in the house. Hey, cheers, Bren. Cheers, C. Jackson. I need to get in touch with you and talk about the things. Bonnie's here. Hi, Bonnie. Eric Gunderson in the house. Cheers, everyone. How you doing? Toasty Malone in the house. Sounding good, looking sexy. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Sean. How you doing? No more money shots. I mean, I could test it right now, see if it works. But I think it may actually be a desk view or soon to be a desk view and right now be a back of the monitor view. We could try it. Yeah, see? It's a back of the monitor view now. So, I'm over here, camera. Hello? I'm over here. Stupid thing. Okay. There we go. Still learning to handle all this stuff. Good. All right. Okay. Ben plays with his deck. He does. He's learning to anyway. It's a new thing. I'm gonna see what I can figure out with it. I only have like 16 out of 64 squares populated right now, so there's a lot more to do, but at least I got it working. Mike Franklin in the house. Good evening, sir. You can fill the time, I'm sure. Yes, I can fill the frame also. Roscoe P. Coltrane in the house. Cheers, everybody. What kind of scotch are we drinking? We're going to be drinking Kalila, Glen Scotia. I'm drinking Glendronach, M&H, which is not a scotch, Kilchoman, Litchfield single malt, Virginia Distilling single malt, a whole bunch of things. So, but right now, Glendro in the glass. Yes, man. You're welcome, Cheech. Top Dog in the house. Cheers, all. And Top Dog, I might got to talk to you sometime because I got lucky enough to get to some of your wood. And this happens to be the Top Dog Whiskey Wars wood, and it looks good. So I might need to talk to you about some of this. The other thing I can do that's really awkward is I can make Top Dog's wood touch Brian's wood. Just saying. I have issues if you haven't figured that out yet. Eric Gunderson dropping all the links. Very cool. No Josh at NBC. Oh, was today the pick? Interesting. Carlos is here. Whiskey Corner. Go give the guy a sub. You want to see some cool whiskey content with a twist? Check out Whiskey Corner. Cheers, man. Let's see here. A little docking. There you go. Holy crap. It's Bobby, Bourbon Battalion. Mostly moved over to Instagram. Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. Him and the human Zubaka do cigars and whiskey pairing. A lot of whiskey knowledge, a lot of cigar knowledge. So you should go over to Instagram and subscribe or follow, whatever the terminology is over there, Bourbon Battalion. Bobby is a beautiful human with a glorious beard. Let's see here. Bill says I need some of Top Dog's wood. I think everybody needs a little piece of Top Dog's wood. There you go. Roscoe's going with Springbank 12 cast strength. What batch or what proof, Roscoe? I just recently found out that Springbank 12 cast strength, every proof and batch is totally different. So I've just been learning that. Great job. Sad I missed out on that Kilchoman, but I may call her soon and buy it. Or you could just get it the next time I visit, man. You could also hear us talk about it tonight. I also have a generous sample, so I might be able to pour some off into a sample for you. Yes, it did, Brian. Your wood did go in my mouth. Is it Bobby's birthday? I thought that was like last week. Wasn't it, Bobby? Well, happy birthday anyway. But if it's your birthday now, I'll sing to you. But I don't think it's today. I feel like I have that wrong. Top Dog. NBC pick us tomorrow for Barrel for Hope and stuff. Oh, nice. Very cool. As I am in Barrels for Hope, I want to know what gets picked. I'm very curious. Shredward in the house, the man with the giant eggplant. Aloha and so somebody might be drinking. Cheers with my Glendronach. $54.1. I believe that's batch 24, which is supposed to be pretty epic. Just saying. Whiskey Nose in the house. Marty in the house. What's going on, Marty? If you like to warm up to the weekend, Friday around 5 o'clock, you should check out Whiskey Nose and give him a sub. Cheers, man. Yeah, 22nd. That's what I thought. A couple days ago. I should have called you, but I am sure I harassed you in some method. Cheers, man. Yeah, that's what I thought. Roger Randall in the house. Cheers, drinking Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, batch 105. All right, with that, I am caught up, and we have an incredible, gorgeous, stellar, phenomenal guest about to enter with us. The one, the only, Irene Tan. And she's muted. As always, it starts with me being a shit show and nobody can hear you, Irene. No sound. Why is your microphone off? Down on the bottom, all the way on the left, it should say mute.
Unmute. All right.
There we go.
Woo! Hey. All right. 3 minutes late. Sorry.
Whatever.
It's all good.
Let me fix your headline here. So, how was the event?
It was not as good as last year.
Aw.
Last year we had like everything Lefroy, it was good.
Mhm.
But this year, I don't know, did it a little different. It was still, but it was awesome though. It was good to see Simon. And the good news is, sometime I gotta get with his person, but sometime in March he's gonna come to my store and do a Lefroy tasting like he did a couple of years ago. So we got a whole stack of Lefroy, so I can't wait. So he's like, yeah, just like go talk to my girl, and then we'll make it happen. So I'm psyched.
So at least I'm gonna have to come up.
You'll have to come up, yeah. Because February, I'm like I'm already all freaking busy. March, I'm actually gonna be home for the most part, and then April I'll be out of here too. So I like, can you come see me in March? He's like, yeah, that could happen. Go talk to my girl, and my girl talk to your girl, and we'll make it happen. So yeah, I'm very psyched. But we did get the chance to taste the Lefroy that was the pick from the casino.
Okay, cool.
So we tasted it last year. Actually, it was the first time we actually got to taste it, and then it finally arrived. So it's what it is. But
so when's your Lefroy single barrel?
No, when is my Lefroy blend?
Okay,
it's a little barrel. Yeah, and he's like, oh man, legal's gonna have a field day with that. It's okay. But hey, even though we're in the Lefroy event, there's always, these freaking tubes are awesome. So I brought him some Talisker 25 from 05. Let's see, what else did I bring him? I brought him.
When Irene starts pulling stuff out of her pockets, good stuff's coming.
Yeah, so it was funny. So I for the second time tasted him on Riona, which we'll do later today. The first time we get a chance to taste Riona, we did it. It was at Whiskey Fest in New York. Yeah, that. So he made this face. I wish I could have taped it. And once again, I wish I could have taped it tonight. So I let him taste. It was a Highland Park 13-year, somewhere in here. I don't know. But that I brought back. And he liked that. And then I gave him the Talisker 25. He's like, oh, man, that's nice. Right? That's really nice. And then I gave him Riona. He's like, took a second sip. And he made the same face he made before. He's like, what is this? Tell me more about it. So I'm really happy about that.
That's awesome.
I'll have to probably gift him a bottle of my my Riona eventually. But yeah. And without giving what's that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's starting to show up in Massachusetts now, so I'm pretty psyched about that. So excellent. But anyway, hey, it's Burns night. So if you didn't really have a haggis, I'm sorry. I had mine for a snack before I went to the event tonight. So no
haggis here. Chinese food.
Sorry. Yeah, I skipped all the vegetables. 27 years of it, so I didn't eat any vegetables. All I needed was some really good haggis.
There you go.
Keeping away from the cat, though. So what are we going to do tonight? We're going to do some single malts, huh?
Yeah, apparently. But I think maybe first, I believe a lot of people are familiar with you here, but I have a little bit of a different audience than everyone else. So
okay,
maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit, talk about the store, your recent happenings. Your new position possibly, and how
about you ask me and I'll tell you, because I don't remember.
Okay.
That's why I have 3 hats, right?
So it's just for everyone's knowledge, neither of us like to plan for things, so there is absolutely no prep. We are both winging it tonight, other than we made sure we had the same bottles.
Yeah, that helps. So shoot your question. So I'm gonna take this one.
So first,
the Lefroy thing, but yeah.
Pretty much, I would think anybody in this whiskey community has come across at least one video with Irene in it, which is the Whiskey Tribes video, the 10 things that whiskey buyers, etc., hate about liquor stores and how to fix them, or whatever the title of that video is.
It might have been top 8 things. And it's funny.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. So one of the guys at the casino at the cigar bar, he turns around and he goes, hey, do you own a liquor store? I go, maybe. Who's asking? He goes, whiskey tribe? I go, yeah, there was that. So that's all good.
So, I guess let's start. Why don't you tell us about your about Whiskey Mentors? Tell us about the.
Okay, so actually, Whiskey Mentors is actually going to get incorporated in the next few months because it's becoming a bigger thing than I ever imagined it could be. But the store is actually Canterbury Liquors, and that got open in October of 2019. The video, if you've seen the Whiskey Tribe video, that was filmed on October 4th. And that was at my old store. I had in 2013, I bought into a share of a store with a partner, and it was hunky dory for a little while. I got to buy a lot of whiskey, and then things went south. Not because of the whiskey, it just did. That was all good. So fast forward, to 2019, I was like, I think I need my own store. And everybody had to, you need your own whiskey store. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But, I still have a day job. So, and that's, what I still do. But now I have 3 full-time jobs, apparently, almost. It's all good. So I opened the store after the Whiskey Tribe video launch. It launched the day that I went to my attorney's office to get signed the paper to buy my new store, Canterbury Liquors. And it's a tiny little town, even fewer people than in the town I live in, which my first store was in Brooklyn. Yes, there is a Brooklyn, Connecticut, and not to be confused with Brooklyn, New York. But Canterbury is literally 15 minutes from here. It's about 13 miles south of here, southwest, whatever. More cows than people. I think there's only 5,025 people in the last census. And 26 people fewer, I would be the only store in town. But it doesn't matter how many stores are there. And there's always a business for everybody to, there's you have a liquor store, there's people are going to be there to buy the stuff. But what's different about what we do is we are just your regular liquor store, as some of you may know. We actually specialize in spirits. I can't just say whiskey because I made some gin, some other stuff. I'm dabbling in some tequila, and maybe we might get some barrel-aged tequila from, I can't say who yet, using my ex-bourbon barrels. So that's pretty cool. But we also have some really cool wines that nobody else has. And the whole idea is like, why do you come to us? We're in the middle of nowhere. So we built a Disneyland. And those of you, and Ben has been, how many times have you been to my store now?
More than we can count.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's always a good time.
Considering it's 3.5 to 5 hours travel each way, depending on traffic, the fact that it's more than 2 hands, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, but it's always a good time when you guys show up, or when anybody does show up from all over the country and sometimes around the world, because we actually really, really do have a really cool selection of not just whiskey. We have. I stopped counting after 100, and I'm not going to count anymore because now it's all about what can we bring you. Everybody wants unicorns, so now in my role with the Carlet Barrel, I make the unicorns, so we don't need to hunt them anymore. You just got to come to Connecticut, and all we need in around the area, I think, is a few more Airbnbs and stuff, so people can actually stay over and figure a way to Uber over there. I mean, you can Uber here. It's like Hotel California. You can Uber there, but you can't Uber out unless. I did have some customers recently. They actually made a deal with the Uber guy, saying, "Hey, you come back and see us in an hour and 20 minutes." And you're like, "Oh, okay," and that happened. So that was cool because we're that remote, and it's kind of cool because it's kind of far from the Mediterranean crowd. Because I spent a lot of time on the road, buying whiskey for you, for my other clients and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time with a lot of people. So it's nice to come back to a place where it's it's more cows and people, more trees, restful. I can drink my whiskey in peace.
So how many picks would you say you have in store right now?
At any
Just
given
barrel
time,
picks.
I would say we probably have at least 50 barrels at any single, any given time when you walk in. And it's not just whiskey, right? It's all different kinds of whiskey. But we also have gins, we have rums, and pretty soon, I think, is it February yet? Sometime in February, hopefully at the end of February, we'll actually have a Pachuga.
A what?
Mezcal, a Pachuga. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be a little expensive, but absolutely delicious. There's only it's a small batch, and we only got 30 bottles. So I'm pretty psyched. So so we don't just do whiskey. We do things that taste really good, hopefully, to most people. which I think
That's true.
we do. Yeah. So that's my my store. And I have a day job, which is, I work in IT for almost 40 years. But then fast forward, I also now since November 1st, I'm now actually the blender for Crowded Barrel. So if you're familiar with the Whiskey Tribe, which I think most of you would be if you're on YouTube, so I am the blender, and my job is to bring good whiskey to you. So we're gonna blend some whiskey. We're gonna buy some nice single barrels, showcase a lot of small distilleries that nobody's ever heard of, and hopefully help make American single malt a real thing. So
It's going to be cool.
yeah.
And her official title is not blender. It's not master blender.
No, I'm not. I'm not a master. I'm just dabbling, but I'm the spirit hunter.
Yes. She is the official Crowded Barrel spirit hunter. So now there's your 3 hats that she was wearing in the thumbnail. You've got the store owner and single barrel procurer / blender.
I got my Scottish hat.
The master blender / spirit hunter for Crowded Barrel, and her day job. Now, that doesn't bring into play her cats or her significant other or everything else. So she's really got like 5 or 6 hats.
Yeah, it's all good. I enjoy them all. So, I mean, sometimes it can be a little frustrating, trying, to find the right whiskey and trying to make the right blend and all of that. But most of it's really fun. So I'm so happy that people do drink whiskey and have a good palate for it, and are adventurous to try stuff, because a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people just kind of go with what they know and that's all they do. And it's like, yeah, just keep doing that. But man, we all have one life to live. Let's live it up, man. Try different things. You don't have to like it. Hey, look at Jen, right? I mean, shit, man, I broke a peat meter this weekend. I'm like so excited. And so we got a photo taken with Simon today, because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna post it later. I was like, Jen's peat meter is broken. She had an Artback 10 on Sunday, and she goes, "That's not peaty." I'm like, can I get it on tape?
Yeah,
so
and
that's
for those wondering, Jen is Irene's awesome store manager.
Yes, best ever. Money cannot buy the kind of people that I have that work for me in the store. We have a good time in the store. Everybody gets to learn. They get to taste crazy shit. Not just what we have in the store for education purposes. I mean, they never know what I'm going to bring. So It makes it fun for them to come to work. Actually, some of them come to work when they're not paid, which is bizarre. Because I'll look at the schedule, like, what are you doing here today? They're like, oh, we're just here working and not getting paid because we want to. I mean, that's pretty nice. But
awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I'm getting thirsty because I've been driving here for an hour.
So I've got everything laid out over here.
All right.
Where do you want to start?
Well, let's go through the list like I sent you. So you tell me, because I don't have it on my phone.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the first one.
What? Well, no, we're not going to do the Burns one. We'll get you a bottle for next time.
Yeah. So the first one I have is your Litchfield.
Ah, yes. Litchfield.
So let me highlight you so you could show it off, because I have the little version.
Wow.
So this is.
So maybe if I can hold this and hold it straight. Mm-hmm. So this says At Last Whiskey Mentors. It's a blend that I did for Litchfield Distillery. They had
out of Connecticut.
Out of Connecticut, Northwest. So it's funny. We're actually on the opposite ends of the state. I'm in the quiet corner in the quiet Northeast, and they're in the quiet Northwest. They got way more snow than I do. So, that's
the easiest way to think about where Irene's store is, at least for me, is between Hartford, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. If you kind of draw a line right in the middle, that's where Canterbury is.
Something like that.
And there's absolutely no road that does a straight line between those 2 points.
No, we don't believe in that. So I think this is like 117 proof, 16 proof.
What did you call this one? For those who don't know, Irene gives every distillery she picks from, she gives it a number.
Yes. So the QS01 for this one means it's first barrel from them. And then numbers go up. We have up to 22. And then I name every single barrel that I either pick or blend. And this one's called At Last because they're going to be chasing me for a little while to buy a single barrel from them. And I told them, look, guys, I want to support you because you're a Connecticut distillery, but I really, really don't like your bourbon. But the older bourbon is actually pretty good now. The rye is pretty decent, but when I walked into the distillery, I kind of surprised them, and I just got done blending another whiskey, and I was on my way back from New York, so I stopped in to see them, and they're like, "Hey, we got these 2 single barrels of single malt. They're going to be 3 years. We want to release them." I was like, "Oh, cool. Let me taste them." And the first words out of my mouth were like, "Good job, you didn't use chocolate malt." They're like, "What? And you know this how?" I go, "I can smell it." So there's no chocolate malt in this.
It's
so this
so
is
sweet.
Yeah, it's delicious. So I said, look, we can't release it like this because why don't you wait another year? They go like, no, we're gonna release it. All right, then let me blend. And they're like, okay, we'll let you blend. So I did. So I took 2 little samples, literally like half bottles of about this size. Took them home. I said, give me a couple of weeks. I blended it, and then I said, all right, we'll do this. And so we split the barrel. It was only 17 cases. They took, half. I took half. We launched it at the store, launched it at my store, and they sold out in 10 days. And it's called At Last because at last I finally have a barrel from them. And if I could have done this whole thing where I could play Etta James in the background, that would have been really cool. But what's cool about this is I don't know if you can see the color. It's only 3 years old, but the color looks like more like it's not like in Texas, but even in Connecticut, and they don't hit the rick house. So what they did was they consciously make the effort to use barrels, virgin oak barrels, but they also spiral cut them so that they would get a little bit more surface area for exposure for the whiskey. And it turned out to be a really, really wise choice. It's very expensive to do it that way, but for their first release, I thought it was really brilliant that they did that. Very happy with it. And
there's just so much fruit and
that's delicious.
Butter and
the only other people that I knew that did that way back when, I think, was Jack Daniel's Sinatra, where they also did the whole spiral cut thing, and it was really, I thought it was a pretty brilliant idea. And I remember going to a distillery. It was Vale Fox Distillery. They make gin, but they're gonna have single malt coming out really soon because I have a single barrel picked with them out of New York. And I was walking through the distillery, and they're trying to use the staves to kind of make the bar look pretty cool. And I walk by and I see the staves are upside down and they're all spiral cut. I'm like, I said those look like Jack Daniel's Sinatra barrels. And the owner looked at me like, and how do you know this? I go, I just know shit. And sure enough, he looked around and he goes, oh shit, man, that's Jack Daniel's stuff. So, but now everyone else is doing it, so I may not be able to recognize it anymore. But this is like candy.
It is. Let's have a sip.
Yes.
Sláinte. Delicious.
Wow. For being 3 years old, man, they did a good job.
Fruity, buttery, a nice spice on the tip of the tongue.
Yep. And pretty full palate for being 3 years old. And that's why, but of course it's not a single barrel, it's a blend. So, but of course, if you're in Scotland, this would just be a single malt release, right? And that's the whole thing. I mean, it's kind of fun that we're doing extra single malts tonight because unbeknownst to most people, single malts are really blends from, the same distillery, right? Unless it's a single cask. There's a huge, people just, and I won't say who because I don't want to diss anybody, but people who are very important in the business have been doing business for years. They kind of poo-poo the blends. They're like, oh, no, we're only about single malts. That's what our customers want. And I'm like, come on. Have you any idea what you're talking about? So unless it's a single cask, it's basically, stuff from the same distillery, same season, and all of that. And they just take a whole bunch of barrels and blend it together and call it a single malt. So.
All right. Well, while we're sipping on this, let me say hello to a couple more people. Because it is freaking delicious.
I mean, for 3 years old, that's really, really good.
Yep. Dusty Dan from Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews is here. Cheers, man.
Nice.
How's it going? Give him a sub. I'm going to do this kind of quickly so we can move on through our whiskeys. You're dumping it out. I'm going to dump it down.
No, I'm not dumping.
throat.
I'm not dumping, man. I'm making a blend. Are you kidding?
Mm,
That's too good to dump.
I should have brought a third Glen over. I might have to clean out a dirty real quick.
Yeah, no, I got this
There you go.
From Isla. So it's a
Bourbon
nice
Baller, who is actually in the Pacific Northwest, runs a store, but he's originally from your neck of the woods up in Connecticut. Irene is awesome, and her store is amazing. There you go.
Thanks.
Rusty's here. How did you come about to own the whiskey store from Bourbon Syndicate?
Well, so my partner was more of a wine guy, and he goes, "You go do like the whiskey, the brown spirits," and this is 2014, January of 2014, no lie. And I'm still, I feel like I'm still a newbie. I mean, I have people who have been, having whiskey for years. So 2014 was actually my first foray into whiskeys. So I'm like, being the sponge that I am, I just love to absorb information. So I was working up in Massachusetts at the time. I still am. I still have different clients up there. And so I went to like whiskey tastings twice a week, potentially more. Learn very quickly you taste and dump because I still got an hour drive home. So I did a lot of whiskey tastings at different places, figured out what I like and didn't like, because at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, this is kind of different than wine. Because how I got into the business was I had 1,200 bottles of wine in my basement. And I go, I can't do this anymore. I think I need a store. So that's why I invested in the store, thinking I was going to be a silent partner, and didn't work out that way, thankfully. So within a year, I built this huge library of amazing whiskeys. And I wish I'd taken more photos back then. I mean, anything that's hard to get now, like Springbank. I mean, I had like a full Springbank with the 16-year local barley. I mean, anything Springbank. I had 2 bottles for 21 year, which luckily I now own them because somebody bought them and sold them back to me. And I'm very pleased about that. I also bought one myself. So it just became this thing. And then I started, actually, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking about that, Ben. Like, I kind of think I just started blending like in the last few years, but I did. My very first whiskey I bought from my store in Brooklyn was an Angel's Envy blend. Like way back when I didn't even think about blending. Right. And it was the first thing I'm like, no, you can't blend it. You tell us what you want to mix that you like, and then we'll make the blend for you. So that was pretty cool. So literally my very first barrel pick, so to speak, was Angel's Envy, and we did the blend. It took 4 tries.
What was that one called?
That one. So back then I wasn't naming them because I had no idea I was going to create this crazy thing, But by the same token, it wasn't the blend I wanted. I didn't want nothing of barrel A, and I only wanted barrel B and C because I thought I had the right notes. Barrel A gave it kind of a banana-y note. And if you know me, I hate banana. I love bananas. I just do not like it in my bourbons. It's okay in the single malt. It's okay in Irish whiskey, but somehow banana and, it just doesn't go for me. That and green peppers. Love them all by themselves. I will actually drink and eat the stuff together, but it just don't want in my liquid.
There you go. Well, cheers, Richie. Richie Z, one of the legends of whiskey tubes in the house. Cheers, Richie.
Cheers, Richie.
Marty Whiskey Knows. Been with a fucking legend on here tonight. Cheers, Irene. Let's see here. Tony Two Toes, you might know this guy. I've driven you there half the times at least. I don't know if it's half the times at this point. I've probably been there more.
Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Bonnie saying closer accommodations would be great.
Hey, Bonnie. Yeah, I know. We need to have like a little campground, somewhere.
There she goes. Bonnie wants to put another hat on you. Whiskey Mentors Resort.
Yeah, maybe we're time for my. I can only do 3 hats, maybe 4 hats, but that's it.
Oh, Bowler saying Pachuga is amazing. Well, if you need one of hers, let me know. I might know somebody.
Pachuga is out of this world. I didn't even know what it's going to cost you. I couldn't even afford the whole batch. I'm like, just give me half the batch.
Todd and Andy from 21090 in the house. What's up, Todd? Probably have a couple of your picks as well.
Oh, nice. Where are you
here we go. Mr. Great Shot down in Austin, Texas, who has a number of your picks, including he was the one that Brian picked up a Glen Scotia for.
Very nice. Yeah, that's gonna line up later.
Yeah, at the funds, he would have a bottle of everything, Irene. Yep. Well, one day when he comes up, Yep.
Drink less coffee. Don't go to Starbucks or something. Just save some
Well,
money.
he's become a peat monster. So there you
Oh,
go. So
nice.
he would definitely work there free.
Ah, lots of
Just
people
trying to catch
volunteer.
up quick. And I poured the Virginia.
Oh,
Want to
Virginia.
talk
Oh,
about that a little
man.
while I'm catching up.
Very close to my heart. Yeah,
Yep.
Virginia single malt. That is amazing.
That
So
is
this
a current-
is
Yeah, go ahead.
6 years old, I think. Ex-bourbon cask is called my breakfast malt. Why? Because when I'm not working and I'm on vacation, I like to have whiskey for breakfast, or maybe on weekends, on Sundays.
Or
Not
maybe
lately.
on days when you're just annoyed at work.
Well, yeah, no, I don't get annoyed too much. I do love most of what I do. But this Virginia, oh man, that was amazing because people in Virginia don't know that they actually have good whiskey in their state. They're like, what do you mean? And then they taste my Virginia and they're like, shit.
So the
Yeah.
mash and drum is in the house. Jason Calori. Cheers, man. Look
Nice.
at this legend.
Hey.
And then, she is the legend here. I'm just facilitating. And
I'm
Jason's
just drinking whiskey, man.
Yeah, Jason's pushing for 100,000 subs on YouTube. So anybody watching, if you by any chance you're not subbed to Jason, go give him a sub. And
Cool.
cheers, man. Thanks for stopping in.
Wow.
Here's J Cells Boston. You might know him as Jonathan. Might have been in last time.
Yes, you were just in recently.
Yep.
Good
Yeah,
to
Ben,
see
you're
you.
okay too. I'm mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Katie Turk is in the house. Cheers, Katie. One half of Drifting Drams, who now has also created a coffee company.
Ooh,
So, if you're into coffee, I could probably bring you up some.
nice.
They're
Yeah, I should.
roasting, they're home roasting single origin beans, and
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and,
I do like my coffee.
they're her and her husband Ethan visited you from Tennessee.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Cheers. Thank
that
you for
was
doing
I
that.
think last summer or 2
Mm.
summers ago. I don't remember at this point.
Yeah, the Virginia is. Let's see the proof on it. So I used to know when I had a few barrels only, but
Mhm.
now I just know the names. It's 58.8, but so it's kind of a cool story. The Virginia distillery. When we get the number 8, I believe, which is King's Code. I like the barrel. I like what they did. They've done American single malt really, really well, but they're still a little kind of under. Like not a lot of people know about them. Like I said, some people from the state come, they go, "What? That's from Virginia." So I'll tell the story about how it kind of become really big, but they're actually going to feature in some of my future blends. If things
They might
all
even
go right.
feature in a first blend.
Well, there was that it already featured my first blend. It is going to feature hugely in my other blends from other distilleries I'm working for. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty psyched about that. Yeah. This to me is just so. I don't know. So at whiskey school, Jason Souter, kudos to him. He's an awesome instructor. Really, really great guy. Great palate. And I remember hosting with him once, and they were like, every time we smell barley, oh man, happy nose. There's just something about it. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. I mean, people drink whiskey all different ways. But like when people go, what's your favorite? And it's really hard to pick your favorite. But if I had to pick a category, I guess, I really do like malt. There's just something about it. I smell it and I go, this is my happy nose. But not every day. Maybe 300 days out of the year.
Speaking of not single malt, Tony Two Toes is going with your Kings County 74%. Doing a little time traveling.
Yeah.
And you might know this guy.
Shit.
Darrell the Whiskey Saint. You might know him.
I might know him.
He's maybe visited once or twice.
Maybe.
1/3 of Hello Again Whiskey Friends. Give them a sub.
So on the whole thing with the Kings County thing, was one of the cast strength things that I posted the other night, because I don't know, I don't get dry January. I'm like, what the hell?
You're gonna love this one, Irene.
What?
J-Cell saying, shout out to Ryan's Place, great pizza.
Yeah,
helping whiskey enthusiasts visit Irene, drink more.
I like it. I'm trying to get a high-end bar next door to me. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Like, if it happens, man, it's gonna be amazing.
Mentorland,
4 days a week only.
Mentorland,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they'll have all of my whiskeys. But
What are you
working.
going to call it? Mentor's Land? Or
No,
something?
it's not. It's not mine. It's
Oh.
somebody who was a restaurant that I'm like, hey man, we could make this happen. So we'll see.
That would be
Hopefully,
crazy.
hopefully it'll be close enough because there's literally a tiny space like my tasting room area right next to me between me and Ryan's, and I would love to get that space filled with something really cool. So
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, Z-Man. Well, let's
so
give this a shot.
eggs and sausage and that would go well with this, huh?
Bacon too.
No, that's like just a given.
I kind of get a buttery bread thing on this a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's
Really
why I
like-
named it breakfast malt.
A really nice side dish.
Yeah, and at that proof, I mean, shit, man, it doesn't really taste the proof, and I think that's probably one of our signatures, I guess, is that one, we pick stuff that is just not your average shit out there. Ooh, did I say that? Yeah.
Yep.
And two, it's high proof because not because we pick high proof, right? It just happens to be high proof. I tasted like, oh, that's really tasty. I probably have maybe 3 or 4 single barrels that are below 100 proof because they were delicious. But everything else I've picked has just been high proof, and I never look at the proof. I just pick it because it tastes good. And then luckily, the rest of the stuff just follows. But yeah, this is getting blended with At Last. So breakfast malt and At Last. Love. I had never got a chance to use this, so this is gonna maybe get bottled.
I grabbed another Glen to make my blend.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be nice because it's got a lot of air in this, so it's gonna be a tasty one in a night. And it's high enough proof, so there's no germs there.
Yep. So I have to say hello to Big League Bourbon, my boy Chris Ludwig in the house. Always great. Bad to catch that green pepper, not in barrel aged imperial stouts.
Yeah, man. I know. I don't know. There's a lot of distillers that came from the brewing world, and they love the chocolate malt. And chocolate malt is good in beers, but it just doesn't work for me in whiskey, right? In single malts, I would say 99% of the time, unless they somehow figure a way to age it out. Like the first thing I smell on, I use chocolate malt. Now, how do you know this? I just know it because all I get is just freaking green peppers. It's like having a Cabernet from Napa Valley in 2011. You just smell it, you go, yeah, don't need it. Or a Chilean Cab, it just has those notes. And I'm just sensitive to it. Not everybody picks it up, and that's okay. But yeah, I will have that whiskey or that wine that doesn't have the pepper note, and I'll have green peppers right next to my steak, and it's all good. Just can't be liquefied. That's all.
Yep. One of the whiskeys I got green pepper on it was really, really bizarre. 2 of them actually. One was a 7-year young Bunnahabhain cask strength.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very young, heavily peated Bunna. And the other was a Doc Swenson's peated rye.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really weird. I got green pepper notes on both of those. So we do have a celebrity in the house, Scott Shan Under, all the way from Australia.
Woohoo!
In the house. G'day, y'all.
Hey, Australia. I'm going to be in Australia soon.
Yeah, he's north of Perth, as he calls it, in the devil's butthole.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, but you're only going to be in Australia for like a couple days, right?
Overnight. Yeah. Oh, crap. I may have to go do some blending next week. Shit. How want to fit it in?
Very carefully.
Let me get back to you.
Down in Texas?
No, in Boston.
Oh. There you go. Ken says, Irene Tan's store has always been on top of my list of much visits whenever I get to the States. You need to get here, Ken. I've got bottles that I'm not popping till you get here.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to Australia. That's our next one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, good time,
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
I got it, so I'll show it off.
Oh, you show it.
This is Irene's Starward single barrel, single malt, 5 years, and a French oak red wine barrel. And I don't see the QS on this one.
So it should be on the sticker on the neck.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
it's up on the neck. It is QS01, and I need better eyes. Southern Cross. There you go.
Well, you kind of have to call it that.
Yeah, and there's going to be a couple of these tonight where this happens.
Uh-huh.
And of
Uh-oh.
course, the Tab Tour.
Oh, brand new bottle. Nice.
Yeah. I wonder where I got this.
I don't know. But man, you should open it already because it's much sweeter after. So this one's really fun. I love this one. So actually, I'm gonna be in Australia. Oh shit, let me look at the calendar. Literally overnight. I'm gonna fly in. I'm gonna be in Asia, so I'm gonna fly in on the 18th after midnight. Get there 8:30 in the morning. Go hang out with my friends who are getting on the train and come and see me. We're gonna chill for the day, and then on the 20th in the morning, hopefully somebody will come pick me up and take me to Starward Distillery. I think it's only a half hour away from from downtown, and then we're gonna hopefully pick a whole bunch of barrels for future projects. And then that night, I hop on a plane and go back to Asia, to Southeast Asia, to Singapore, and then be back stateside by the 23rd. So short visit, I know.
World traveler.
Yeah, it's all good. I do travel more comfortably than most. I save all my points. I'll save all your points because it's totally freaking worth it. But anyway, so this Starward is pretty amazing. It came to me a few years ago, 2 years ago now, I think. And they had 5, I think it was Dave. He had like 5 bottles. And this was halfway gone and nobody picked it. I'm like, what's wrong with these people? Why did they not pick it? It's delicious. So if you don't know much about Starward, that smells so good. They don't finish their whiskey. They actually age their whiskey. And that's why in 5 years, it looks freaking dark, right? It looks like, shit, man, did they put like, color in it? No, they don't. Pretty high proof. I think is up there. I can see for crap. 50 is 150, 116, 115.8. So what happens is they get their barrels from Barossa Valley, and then they basically, once they dump the wine, they just truck them up to Starward, north to Melbourne, and then they just literally put the whiskey in it. And just from my experience of knowing what happens when you just dump whatever it is in a hurry, there's always lots of residual stuff that shows up. Sometimes 3 bottles, sometimes 5 bottles, and sometimes a few more. We've had the experience at the store. So you get some really cool stuff that's completely unfiltered, straight up. It just like the barrel, just finally when it arrives at your store, it just goes, all right, let's put the whiskey in the barrel. And fantastic. So this one has a bit of wine influence on it. And from tasting it with a few different people who are wine experts, of which I'm not, but I do know a thing or two about wine. I believe it's a Syrah cask, because it's just the nose, the sweetness, the finish. It's not super tannic. It's my favorite whiskey to have when I'm having a steak, and I can't make up my mind if I want to have a whiskey or wine, right? So this one on the nose is a lot of nice red fruit, as which a Syrah would. A little spice, because Australian Shiraz is a little bit more peppery, black peppery than say something from France. And so you get the whiskey up front.
And so much pepper.
Yeah. And then on the back, like the wine that comes right back out at you. So if you're having a really juicy ribeye steak, you get the best of both worlds with this. And it's a super inexpensive bottle. I mean, it came all the way from Australia. You think it like cost $120, right? But it's not. It's like, I don't know, mid-60s or something like that. So we loved it so much, and it was a good size barrel. So we actually priced it so you can buy it by the 6-pack. When I say that in my store, that means that it's under $70, right? Anything that's under $70, you like it, just buy the 6-pack, because when it's gone, it's gone. Because truly everything that we have in the store is a unicorn.
I tend to buy 6-packs, but it's usually to disperse them.
Yeah, I know that. You're like, you're taking photos, and you're like, how many do you want? What do you want? That's pretty cool.
Hey, sorry.
Because I can't technically ship, so it's a pain in the butt. So I appreciate that you.
It's the closest you have to a hand delivery service.
Pretty much, yeah. No,
Carlito Classico is screaming Irene.
What?
Carlito is yelling Irene. He may know you.
Maybe. Cheers.
And Northwest Bourbon's on. Cheers, Mark. He's got Bainbridge Organic Distillery on tonight on his channel. He's over in the Pac West, so he'll be on after us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, how is that Bainbridge stuff? Because I was asking somebody about that. I haven't heard much about it because they were out for investment for a little while there. I'm like, hey, maybe I should know something about them. So it's the whole thing, right? So whiskey is great to share with people. I love to work with small distilleries because, you know, I will never. What did you say? Yeah. Well, Bonnie,
she's confused and intrigued.
Yeah, it's awesome shit. But so the whole thing of it is like I'm a little strong. I'm a one-person store. Amazing crew that works for me. But in the big scheme of things, we're tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, to be able to work with small distilleries who are, you know, struggling to make what they make and put stuff out there, it's great to be able to work with them, right? Because we're all little people.
Mm-hmm.
And we make the world go round. We do, right? People don't hate us. They just go, hey, you know, this is good what we're doing. We help the community.
That could be the first time anybody's ever called me little.
We are little people at the end of the day, but we make a difference. And that's what matters. And so I love working with small distilleries for a variety of reasons, right? When you go to the big guys, they look at you like you have three heads when you tell them you want to blend their products. They're like, what? Wait, okay, Luke, we can't let you do that. I'm like, all right, I don't need your stuff then. But with the you know, everybody who's trying to get out there to get this stuff recognized, because it's hard work, man, to build a distillery, do all that stuff, which man, I'm too old and poor to do that. But please let me help you make your whiskey better, but let me blend for you. And that's kind of been what I've been trying to do is not take. I mean, I bought enough single barrels. I don't need to buy unless it's absolutely spectacular. Jen and I decided we don't need another single barrel. We'd rather blend because then now we only maybe take 5% of your top 1% of your barrels, and then you get to put that back into the blend of your core products, so your core products will be better. Well, assuming you let me help you make a core product. So the whole thing of it is, you know, not yes, it's great. You know, I mean, it's not a no-brainer to pick a really good single barrel, right? You taste it, this is fantastic, I need it. So I've been doing that for a while, but now I'm like, man, that's just doing the small distilleries that just, you know,
it's some
disfavor
exposure.
Because
it gives them some exposure, but it's not.
It's not right. Is that one? It's like that one song, you know, hit kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that literally that one top 1%. But yet when you get to only still maybe 10% of that, and then you get to blend with some of the stuff that they have that's not as spectacular and make something really good out of it. Then guess what? Now we have like enough whiskey to share with more people. And so it's always been my thing to do that, is that, man, if there's good whiskey, I want a lot more people to get their hands on it. So that's why I thought, well, I'm blending it. It's going to be a kind of a good thing. So so somehow magically it just fell into my lap, and now I have to own it. It's my thing, man.
Oh, well. Let me say hello to a few more people. Ben Demon Hunter up in Alberta, north of Calgary. Cheers, Ben Demon Hunter. Happy Robert Burns night.
Yeah, cheers.
Gandy Rhodes here. Cheers, Gandy Road. Let's see here, trying to scroll fast.
Uh-oh. I like that one so much I didn't add enough to my blend, so I'm just going to add a little bit to it.
Jonathan's asking, Irene, I got a juniper note on the fireside pick. Am I broken?
Maybe juniper, huh? Because that would be from the rye. So maybe I don't know. I haven't gotten pine notes on the rye. How long have you opened it for?
Yeah. So Carlos Whiskey Corner, I'll have to take a trip to Connecticut and visit your store. Well,
heck
a number of us tend to meet up there, so hit me up and we'll coordinate.
Definitely. It's always a good time when you get, you know, a crowd, a small crowd of 10 or fewer, because our whiskey room is getting a little bit crowded right now. So, are
you noticing a downturn at all in whiskey or in liquor purchases overall?
More so, I want to say yes, but no, because last weekend I came back from my trip and it was like, hello. I mean, I sold like a whole bunch of the Litchfield. I sold a bunch of Riona. I was like, I don't know, we sold like 18 bottles, which is kind of crazy. And nobody asked the price. They just go, we like it, we'll buy it. But yes, I think in overall, I think the stuff that's super young, that is not spectacular, that people are trying to charge, $200 for. Yeah, that's not seeing. Oh yeah, of course I have more Glasgow blend.
So yeah,
That
so
was a
actually,
big batch.
Katie and Ethan might have gotten a refill yesterday, and we didn't put that on our list. I realized.
Well, because it's a blend.
Yeah,
Yeah, but of course, but we should have.
I mean, we could always get there. It's here.
Yeah, I think I have a few bottles upstairs.
I have a few bottles right here.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. That was also priced to be.
We'll see how we do on time.
Okay, yeah, no, I got time. I mean, it's Thursday night, so it's a
So,
good
have
night.
you picked any other or created any other Glasgow blends already?
No, so years ago, not that many years ago, John Glazer says, "Hey, when next time you come to London, come play." And I was like, "Okay." He goes, just come visit and play." And I probably should have dropped everything I was doing and run over, but I got many hats to wear, so I couldn't. And I was still disappointed he didn't show up at the Whiskey Fest in New York.
Well, that's kind of become a shit show, frankly.
A little bit. This year was a little bit disappointing. Part of it was just because I was late coming in because I was hosting level 3 class. Literally, I flew from Austin, landed in Providence, and I flew in my car to New Haven, and I missed the train I wanted to get. So we were 20 minutes later, and then it became a shit show. But nonetheless, it was still fun to get there to just visit with people. I wish I had been there though, because I wanted him to taste Riona. And then maybe if you're listening out there, I would love to go do a blend with him for Compass Box. Just for ha-has, it would be great. But we'll see. I mean, I asked Simon Brooking tonight, who's a master brand ambassador for Lafroig. I was like, well, I don't need a single barrel Lafroig anymore. I said, can I blend? And he's like, the second time I've asked him, he was like, really strict rules. I go, I know. What? You never know. You never know until you ask, right?
Yeah.
Cheers, Tim.
He's an awesome fellow. Ken, I need that. I don't know which one he's talking about, but
yeah. What do you need? Scotch Down Under?
He said that 12 minutes ago, so it's probably the Starward. Oh,
well,
Stacey H, aka 4-Leaf Whiskey, in the house. Hey, cheers, Ben and Irene.
Cheers.
Yeah, she might have a couple of your Clonakilty and other picks.
Does she have the 15? Does she have my teenager?
I don't think she does.
No?
I forget. I lose track of what I've got.
It's all good. All right, what's next on our pile?
Next on the pile is
M&H.
Where's the list? Hang on, I'll have it.
I know we're zigzagging you guys through the world here.
Yes, we are. So we're gonna go from Australia to Israel.
Woohoo! All right, and you have a bottle, so I'll let you do your thing.
So this is well, you want to talk about it, but this is from M&H.
Yeah,
in Tel Aviv.
That's why I want to talk about it. Be my bonnet, because man, people should be talking about this. So this is not very old, 3-4 years old. 3 years old, it says.
But so it's a little hot. It's a little hot in Israel.
Just a little. Well, given where this is a little hot. It's a 64.6 ABV. It's young. It's ex-bourbon cask. It's my gateway whiskey into peat, because it's actually ex-bourbon cask and peated, and so some of this gets aged in the Dead Sea. And if you know anything about it at all, the temperature swings, the diurnal temperature changes are incredible. So luckily, after I picked the barrel, I think it was within a month or two that they actually pulled the barrel, brought it back to Tel Aviv, and it's kosher, by the way. And then kind of let it sit there, and it took almost a year to get to me. And I named it Be My Bonnet for a bunch of reasons, because they're milk and honey. There's a little of talk about bees there, but also the whole single malt thing for the rest of the world, just like with Starward, that people only know about Scotch and maybe Japanese whiskey, and maybe a little bit Indian whiskey or Cavalan out in Taiwan.
When are you getting your own soloist?
So I don't need one because I want to make a world blend.
Okay.
So so in the next couple of years, hopefully I'll get to do that. I want to go visit all the countries that have single malts and pick single barrels from each one. And then I'm going to make a freaking world blend. I'd love to hit all the continents, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they do whiskey.
Cavalan just killed me because it's so much more expensive in the US than it is everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
It is good. So actually, I don't have soloists. You know what I do have? So actually, this is not my usual tasting room, but I decided to come over here today because it's a better light.
Yeah, it is a kittyless tasting room.
What's that?
It is a kittyless tasting room.
Yeah, it's. So I inherited this set, and we have no really good dishes in the house, so I decided to put whiskey in it instead, and it works out really
Now
well.
she's just going to show off.
No. This is something that I had in my other store. If I could freaking open this thing, maybe this one's not open yet, but I have a couple of them.
You're saying you might have an extra? That's what
I have two of them because I tasted this stuff and I was like, yeah, this one's definitely not open. Let me go see what we got the other one. But this I absolutely love was an ex-bourbon cask from Glen, and it is this one's open. All right, this one 55.6 cask strength. Yeah. Oh no, this one isn't open either.
Well, you're just showing it off.
Yeah, but oh my god! So first time I had this, I was like, "Wow!" So this
we have so much to drink through tonight.
Freaking ex-bourbon cask. That's absolutely delicious. And so I actually started to figure out that the whiskeys that I like have a certain common theme, two different themes. Anything that Jim Swan, who unfortunately fell down the stairs and passed away a few years ago, I wish I could have met him. I think it would have been incredible. He was one that kind of, came up with this STR cast thing, which kept leading to that. We could, all things lead to Riona eventually. But everything that he's had a hand in all the stories I work with, there's just a signature about it that I'm like, there's something I like about it. And ultimately, like, oh, Jim Swan had a hand in it. And the other one, before he passed away, was Dave Pickerel. Right. Yeah.
Dave did a lot actually on Long Island, and I never got to meet him.
Yeah, he was an amazing guy. Absolutely loved him. I was so saddened when he passed away. In fact, when I heard the news the next day, he passed away on that Thursday night when it was Whiskey Fest in San Francisco. And I was doing a Garrison Brothers dinner at a restaurant up in the quiet corner here. And I remember Dan Garrison saying, we kind of owe some of this to Dave Pickerel because he kind of really helped us. And then like there was a certain signature about it. But the next day I heard that he had passed, and Mauve showed up. Boss Hog Mauve showed up. And it was just bizarre because Mauve showed up in the little casket shaped thing. And I was so distraught. I was driving around my town and I was lost. I mean, I've lived in this town for almost 20 years, and I was just like, how did this happen? I was so glad that I got a chance to meet him 3-4 times before. I mean, the best barrel picks from Whistle Pick that I've had were the ones that Dave personally picked. Like what he thought was really good. My first 2 barrels, and those will always be my first loves for rye because they were just amazing. Not grassy, none of the above. But then a few years later,
I ever truly liked.
Yeah, that too, right? That's thanks to Pete Lynch. Oh my god, that Amberana was amazing. But then a few years later, I'm down in Florida, and I picked up a St. Augustine distillery bottle, and I tasted it. I'm like, it's kind of young, but there's something about it I like, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I tasted it. I'm like, yeah, they need a little more time. And come to find out, Dave also had a hand in, and it was just like, it's just certain signatures.
He had a hand in a lot of things.
Yeah. So I don't know.
There's a store about 30 minutes west of me here that I found out he used to help them do their picks and stuff. And it's like, and literally the first time I went there was like one of the last times he visited was like the day before.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, he came to visit me in my store in Brooklyn, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna come to your store." I'm like, "Dave, I'm not gonna get back till 4 o'clock because I was woke up from
Mhm.
mass and someone was still commuting to work." And he goes, "Ah, don't worry." He goes, I'm gonna, I'll stop in. I'm on my way back from Rhode Island back to Hill Rock, so I'll stop in your town because I have to drive through Route 6." So he went. He got some sushi at the local restaurant. He got a haircut. He found a place where he could just work, do some paperwork. He shows up at my store at 4 o'clock when I show up. And I was like, that was just amazing. And he said to me, he goes, "I have some Hill Rock samples for you." He goes, any Hill Rock that you want finished in anything, whatever you taste here, we'll finish it in what you want. And I should have jumped on it. And I didn't because I was like, because it wasn't my own store at the time. So I couldn't do that. If I had Canterbury Liquors by then, man, we would have had that pick. But so be it. But it was nice that he just imparted so much knowledge. Like I would just email him. I go, "Dave, why does this happen?" And he'd be like, "That's why." I'm like, "Damn."
that's kind of like what we have Nancy for now.
Thank you. Exactly. Nancy, how does this happen? She goes, "Oh, that blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, then." Yeah.
Just all of a sudden science comes out.
Yeah. No, she's awesome.
All right, so let's talk about this BMI bonnet.
Yeah, it's BMI bonnet. I mean, it's young. You can tell it's young.
Yep. So it's from the land of M&H, milk and honey.
Yeah, from Tel Aviv.
Peated ex-bourbon, but lightly peated.
Yeah, so the peat, I believe, it's from the Black Sea, I think, right? So it's not when people think of peat, they always think of Isla peat, which is just it's its own animal, right?
Yeah.
But peat from the rest of the world is so different. I mean, if you look actually the peat map all over the world, I mean, you look at like Indonesia and stuff. There's tons of peat over there, but nobody's kind of harvested that yet. But there's a lot of peat, and it's very terroir based, right? When people go, "Oh, our whiskies, blah blah, it's a water," I'm like, "I'm sorry, your water is your water, okay?" But when you start to use barley from certain regions, you start to use peat from different regions, then you can actually talk terroir, because not too many people can really claim terroir. They'll speak terroir, and I always try to challenge them, not because I want to be an asshole, but I'm really trying to understand. Like if you say, "All right, my whiskey's from Minnesota and this is our terroir," I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" Like if I had a lineup of whiskeys that I'm blind and I'm tasting, how would I know that is from Minnesota, right, or wherever it is, or Colorado?
Yeah, leave being the asshole to me. I'm pretty good at it.
I think I sometimes am just one, but not on purpose. Because I just want to know. I want to go. Okay, you can claim something, but let's stand behind it. Give me some facts. Let me. And maybe it's because I can't taste it, and so who knows.
Right.
But this, I think, so the whole thing with like M&H and Capellan and some of the other warmer places, it's really hard to get aged products from them, right? Because their terroir just makes it so it's difficult for them to do that. And so maybe if they were to do a temperature control rickhouse or whatever, but then that just, let's work with what we have and make it our signature. And I think actually their sherry cask won some huge awards. When it first came out, nobody knew about it. We brought some bottles in. I still have an open bottle in the store. So if you guys ever come out that way, I want to taste. In fact, when one of their guys came out to do a tasting in my store, they go, "Oh my God, our sherry cask won these awards, but we don't have any." I go, "Well, I got one bottle." So we tasted it. It was good. So, but yeah, it's a very nice, clean malt. They don't use chocolate malt, which to me is always my first complaint. When I smell it, I go, "Chocolate malt, don't need it." But this doesn't, and this is quite delicious. So if you were a bourbon drinker trying to get into single malts and maybe a little hint of peat, this would be a really good one, because the peat is definitely more of, I think it's more of a smoky note than a peat note. I mean, I don't get any wet moss.
No, none.
It's definitely more smoky than anything else.
Yeah,
I think it's clean peat, if there's such a thing.
Well, it's almost like sweet barbecue. I wouldn't call it like barbecue like Ardbeg.
Yeah, not mesquite. Not mesquite. It's
almost like a very heavily sauced pulled pork.
Yeah, it's delicious though. I'm gonna have to put it next whatever I'm gonna marinate that I'm gonna smoke next. I wonder how it'll do. So I was talking to somebody recently. I just bought my quarter cow. I usually buy a half cow, but our appetites have diminished.
Oh, really?
recently.
I need to talk to you about where you get that from.
Yeah, but anyway, so nobody wants all the parts, right? So I
Mhm.
luckily my cow farmer got me 3 tongues and 3 hearts. So I'm very excited about that.
Ooh.
So one of them is going to end up in tacos, of course. But the
Little
other one,
lengua?
yeah, love lengua. But the other one, she was telling me that somebody actually like parboiled it and then smoked it for like however long. And I'm going, damn, that would be kind of fun too.
Well, you could always kosher deli style it too.
Yeah, so I could do a kosher one.
Just
and then
remember
maybe
to peel it.
Then maybe I could get a Del Bach one with a mesquite that I can smoke. So I maybe got split, the tongue in 4 different parts and smoke it with different things, which would be really cool.
We're gonna have to talk smoking. I didn't know you smoked meat.
Yeah, I do. So everyone's like, since you don't have no time, you should just buy a pellet stove. And I was like, yeah, no, my side yard where I entertain, there's no electricity. If it doesn't work on solar, it doesn't work. So I ended up with, so I always wanted a big green egg. And then I discovered how heavy it was. And I was like, no, I'm not going to haul around 350 pounds by myself. So the compromise was to buy a Weber S something grill that has the double walls. So
what do you call it? They call that the Summit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I got one of those and put it together in an hour. And so the only thing is I can wheel it around. It works really well. It doesn't maintain the heat as well as the big.
I'll talk to you about fixing that.
Yeah, but anyway, so what I like about it though, what I like about it though is that I can cool my grill down in a hurry, right? My smoker down in a hurry. So absolutely love it. So I smoke all kinds of stuff with it. So that's my goal this summer. Is oh man, I could do like a M&H. I could do like the Kalila and a few other things. Okay, sorry.
I've gone the way of the pellet, but I do additional smoke on top.
Whiskey Tribe. I can't talk about it yet because I already made the first 2 blends, and it's just a matter of how can we make it happen, when we can make it happen. But
and Mark, pick them up for me.
What's that?
Well, are you going to have any of these? I'll call it the Spirit Hunter blends.
Yes,
in your store?
So that would be the Magnificent Beast, I believe, right? So the idea is to create, enough bottles so that it actually reaches outside of the Patreon, right? Because usually the Knights of Barons and whoever the demigods get everything. So the idea is to actually have enough so that everyone in the Patreon can get it if they want to, and then the rest of the world. So hopefully each quarter, if I have it my way, should have a Magnificent Beast blend for them. Excuse me, but also have potentially 1 or 2 barrels, and already pick one for the first one, as part of the Alliance series, so that we can showcase.
But will you have these in Canterbury?
No. So these are actually, you'll have to order them from the Whiskey Tribe. So actually, it's kind of better in some ways, right? Because y'all can just order it from there, and they'll ship you to whatever state they can ship them to. Yeah. So it's a little tricky.
Or luckily, this man's in Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little tricky because the stuff I do for the for Crowded Barrel will only be available at Crowded Barrel. But luckily, I will still be out there finding some really fun stuff for Canterbury Liquors and Whiskey Mentors. So
there you go. You got a little compliment here from Martinez.
Thank
I
you.
Appreciate all your charity work. She does do a ton of charity work and charity fundraising.
We do. I'm so happy that whiskey, I can use whiskey to help my charities. It's just kind of amazing. I mean, but thanks, I couldn't do it alone. Thanks to all the amazing people out there. All my customers come from wherever. So
that's
Brandy
a great question.
Brandy. I think I have a.
You've done Armagnac.
Yeah, the Armagnac, but also the wow.
What is Brandy?
It is the Starlight, the Turkish.
And apricot brandy.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yep, I could send you some of that, Bowler. I have it here somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't.
there you go. There's Ken down in Australia. Yep, the Starward. I needs it. Well, figure out a way for me to get you the stuff. I have a whole box of international shipping bottles that I've had for like years
Nice.
for Ken and for Donald Rance, who's known as Irish Whiskey Yoda. He might show up at some point. And he's up in Toronto, and a couple of and two people that I hope to bring to your store in the next year or two, which would be what do you call it, Lilith and Chris Taz, who are they make a homage to the U.S. every year from Australia. So I have a whole box of international whiskey that needs to get international.
Okay.
So figure out how, Ken, and actually, I wish I could send it with you.
Yeah. No, my suitcase is already full because that's a problem when I have to fly to Singapore.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it kind of
Stacey does not have the Clonakilty 15, but she needs one.
Yes, you definitely need one. That
I know she has Christmas cake. That one I'm sure she has. She has a couple.
Yeah, Daniel just did a review of Christmas cake, and on the Whiskey Vault channel, and I forgot.
Which one do I have right here?
That to them. Hey, are we off? What do we have here? Wow, what do you got there?
This is the Queen's Jam. It's right here.
So the podcast finished. Yeah.
Which is weird because
I can't show the picture yet.
Okay.
Wait. I can't show the picture yet because but September, if it all goes that way, the very first single malt from Clonakilty is going to get launched in the US at my store.
Ooh.
Like Labor Day weekend, please just take the freaking day after Labor Day off because that's when we're gonna do it.
Yes.
So I can't talk a lot about it yet.
Well, you need to give me the info because I need to book like a hotel now.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
If it's Labor Day weekend, I need to book a hotel like now.
Yeah, so it's actually the day after Labor Day. I think is what we're shooting for. So they're actually gonna launch a Whiskey Life in Ireland. And last year they promised me that when we have our own, our own pot still stuff, that we're gonna launch it here. I'm like, yeah, but they are.
Hey, Irene, look who's in chat.
You might know this
guy.
Yo, Cliff.
Cheers,
you
Cliff.
made it back. Cheers. What you drinking, Cliff?
Wait. She's like, did you say Indonesian Pete?
Yes, there is Indonesian. Well, if you look at the Pete map. Nobody's done anything with it yet. Hey, maybe some peanut rum from there. That'd be kind of cool, huh?
Bonnie's like, I mean, we could go to Australia.
Absolutely. So are we off to the next one? Yes.
Yeah, we could do that. Let me so are we doing one mega blend?
Yeah, I am.
You're going all right. So
it's smelling pretty good.
All right.
I'm liking it. It's got a really nice, cool, sweet nose on it so far. I think it may be coming from the Syrah, actually.
Just to remind everyone, egg roll's telling you to hydrate.
Oh yeah, that too. Yep.
So I hydrate with a very politically correct gas station with the cum guzzler.
So Wizard Academy, if you don't know anything about it, you might go look it up. It's a very cool place. They don't pay me to talk about it, but it's a very cool place where you learn about all things whiskey. And
I mean, Katie, maybe if we all organized a trip together, just saying.
Hey, could happen.
All right. So we're going to
yes.
We're going to the motherland.
We are going to the motherland.
So this is, you want to talk about this a little?
Yeah, this is an epiphany. Very well named because I had no idea. So this all came about when I was at whiskey school at Springbank 2 years ago. Lots of things happened 2 years ago. I planted my seeds, and this is my blend from that I did at whiskey school.
What is that?
Oh, so my Springbank blend that I did.
I need to try.
Oh, yeah, you can't get this. This is why I made one.
I don't want to get it. I just want a nip.
Oh, absolutely. Well, next time you come, it's 53.2 ABV. There's not much left because I've been sharing it. But you get to do a blend at the end of class. So did I need to go to Springbank school? Yes, because it was Springbank's amazing. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
for anybody who doesn't know, Campbelltown is insanity. It
Yeah.
brings it brings the George Clinton to Scotch. It takes you to Funky Town.
yes,
If
Definitely.
anybody's ever had Dusty Turkey, you know how it's got a funk to it. It's not the same funk, but it brings just a delicious, delicious funk to it.
yeah. No, a huge fan for sure. But anyway, so how this Glen Scotia barrel came about was it would never have come about if I didn't go to school in Springbank, right? In Campbelltown. So I was there for school for a week, and I was like, so if y'all don't know, to be a region, you have to have at least 3 distilleries. So Springbank is in Campbelltown, and they created the Glengyle so they can have Kilchoman. So it's 2, and the third distillery, which I used to call the poor relation to Springbank, but then not really. It's not fair to them because Ian McAllister has done an amazing job of making really good single malts. I mean, so anyway, long story short, I was there and I called my salesperson. I'm like, hey, can you give me a tour, at Glen Scotia because I'm here and I'm got an extra day off. So he's like, blah blah blah, yeah. But he didn't tell me when. So after I passed my exam on Friday, where I'm at the Washback Bar drinking a 1996 something really freaking special at Springbank, and I get this text from me. He goes, it's like 3:00. He goes, are you at the tour with Ian? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I emailed you. I'm like, come on, I was taking an exam today. I didn't pay attention. So then I literally always carry extra bottles like this. So dumped it in there and just ran to my car and just flew up maybe 0.8 miles to Glen Scotia. And because I was late for the tour, everything was closed. So, but having spent the last 2 weeks in the stores, I found my way around. So I found a spiral back staircase, walked down, and then I walked backwards. It was the tasting room. It was the warehouse where they had the tasting room. I walked in there into where they had all these barrels. Nobody was in there. I looked around. There's no cameras. I'm like, shit, man, I think I just lock myself in here and just have a good time. I said, no, I'll be nice. Let me walk backwards to see where the tour started. So I walked back to where Ian was talking to, it was 10, 12 guys about, the beer that they make, right? At this stage, he goes, if it's not good at this point, then just forget about it. And who happens to be there? Are you back? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. But Alcavide, he was there with all his buddies, and he's like, so when I walk in, I was I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late, and I always carry my whiskey glass. And at that very moment, Ian was like, well, you should kind of taste our beer. He wants to try some, and all the guys are just standing around like, I'll try some. And of course, being that they're whiskey tubers, go, man, this is like a whiskey tube moment, So they go, wait, we think we know you. You look familiar. So we walk through the entire rest of the tour, and then we get to the tasting room where Ian had picked about 5 barrels for us to taste. So there were 3 ex-bourbon barrels. And his point was that Scotch doesn't have to age as long as most things if you have the right whiskey barrel, right? You have the right ex-bourbon barrel, the really good ex-bourbon barrels, 6 to 8 years, 9 years, and it could taste really good. So he picked the best examples of what he had, and then he had a couple other sherry, I believe, and PX sherry, and also sherry finish, which is his own little animal. So he said, hey, we have these 3 ex-bourbon casks. They're really special. They're only about 6 years old. We want you. Ooh, you haven't touched the Riona. Wait, save Riona for later, Cliff. So he said, so taste these and tell us what you think. So I said, well, don't tell me what the story is from, because he goes, we use Jack Daniels, we use Knob Creek, we use Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark, you kind of tell because Maker's Mark's all over the barrel. But when I tasted the first barrel, I was like, all right, this is definitely ex-bourbon. It was only 6 years old. And then I dropped a little drop of water in it, and banana came out. I go, that's Jack Daniels barrel. And I go, can I go look in the back? He goes, how did you know that? I said, because banana came out, right? The second one, I tasted it. He goes, this is from Jim Beam Distillery. There's a bunch of them. And I tasted it, same thing, drop of water. And I that's Knob Creek barrel, because I taste the little kind of nutty note in the back. And sure enough, it's this KC barrel. The third one was obvious. It was Knob Creek, so I didn't have to guess. But then, so that was my epiphany, and that's why I named this barrel the Epiphany, because I was like, oh my God, if I could just get one of my ex-bourbon cask barrels over to
Oh God.
Scotia, shit, right? I said, just make me new make, and then 5 years we could release this thing. It costs a lot of money, but it'd be fantastic. But of course, the problem is, how do I get a barrel over there? I mean, if my 15-gallon barrels, man.
Just a suggestion, we could send 15. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I oversized. Oh, who needs clothes, man? You just go buy clothes over there, right?
No,
So,
you could probably check a 15-gallon Kings County barrel as
well, yeah,
luggage.
two of them.
I'm just saying, I have my pick also, so that would be
Yeah.
two 15-gallon
I've
barrels.
got like tons of 15-gallon barrels, so that could happen. So that's why.
Oh, you also have the Garrison.
What's that?
You also have Garrison 50.
Yeah, Garrison. I have 22 single barrels from Garrison. I have 2 single barrels from Kings County.
We have to drink this, Irene. I'm dying here.
Yeah, sorry. This is delicious though. But guess what barrel it's from though? After it opened for a while, I was like, yeah, I know where it's from.
Yep. Want to talk about that banana note?
Mm-hmm. If I bet money on this is an ex Jack Daniels barrel.
Yep.
But
agree.
it's okay. It's okay in a Scotch, and it's okay in an Irish whiskey. It ain't okay in a bourbon for me.
I do have to say cheers to a legend of Maryland whiskey and whiskey in general. BT, aka Brian Tracy's in the house.
Cheers.
Cheers, Brian. If you're familiar with Brian.
Ooh, that's tasty. That is tasty though. Damn.
Have you ever gotten to meet Brian? He prior to some changes, he was the CEO of Sagamore.
Ah, damn! We have a barrel
absolute legend, and I gotta say, peace, man.
Cheers, man. So
He's awesome.
Love the Sagamore Distillers Edition that was a Manhattan finish. I'm trying to recreate it.
Do you need some?
No. I have bottles. No, I want to.
I was gonna say, believe it or not, it's still sitting on shelves here. The Manhattan finish.
Get out! How many bottles are out there? Because I got people who buy
as many as you want.
Talk to Cliff. Cliff could get some. I saved 6 of them. No. So what I want to do is I want to recreate that in one of my projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
And make that happen, because apparently Sagamore won't do it again. I'm like, come on, that was a first true. I hate RTDs, but that was a first true RTD. Like I call it Boatman hat, right? You take the bottle, it's 103 proof or whatever it is. Like, all you need is just some ice. That's it.
I was recently counting. I think I have somewhere between 25 and 30 different bottles of Sagamore.
Yeah, no Sagamore. So I got a funny story about Sagamore. Sagamore came to me years ago, and they said, hey, this was when I was in my other store. They go, we will fly you and 5 other customers come down our farm and pick some barrels, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Irene, look what Brian just said.
woo-hoo. I heard it was coming, but I haven't seen it yet. I hope it does come.
Even though he's not still there, he's still there.
Good.
He's still very well connected, and he's a freaking legend.
Excellent.
I mean, I love that man, non-platonically.
So maybe when I'm down in Baltimore in August, because I know I'll be in Baltimore in August.
You have to. Yes. I will make that connection happen.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, because they said, come pick another barrel of Sagamore. I'm like, yeah, no. They go, we'll send you samples. I'm like, no. I need to be down there to do it. So hopefully I can make it happen when Jen's there too. So, but anyway, yeah. So quick story about Sagamore. When a few years ago when they were, I swear I thought they should be. I said, nah, don't waste your money, guys. Don't waste your money flying me and my customers down there. I said, how about you spend the money making better whiskey? And then when you're ready, come to me. And they did. When I got my store, I bought my first, I think it was my first 6-year-old, and I named it the Classic, because to me, it was, granted, it was MGP and all of that, and it's all good, but it was like the classic rye. Every note about it was without the grassiness. It was.
Oh, look what he said. ADI
rye.
Conference in August. Let's connect.
Absolutely. I'm going to be there.
Yep. I will get the two of you in touch.
Like it.
I like connecting whiskey legends. And most people are really weird that this asshole's the one who gets people together. So, I enjoy doing that. Just like,
Thanks
even though you wanted to be a secret to Nancy, I might have screwed that up.
What's that?
Even though you want it to be a secret to Nancy, I might have.
Oh yeah, nah, it's okay. It's all good. No. Luckily, she and I hit it off really well. So,
well,
someday.
I don't think it hurt that you both had glowing reviews prior. I hope.
Yeah. No, we literally at Iron Root, we're like, I swear we were all like, elementary school kids running around Rick House, scraping off shit off the barrels, going, "Let's make instant boisé,"
I've literally apologized to people saying, I don't know when it's going to happen, but when those two work together, I'm sorry about your wallet.
Yeah, hopefully it'll happen someday, but who knows?
I'm sure.
I mean, we both have super busy schedules, but hopefully it'll happen one of these days. We'll find some fun project to work on together.
Oh.
So, all right. So that was amazing in Scotia.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe this other than it's just delicious.
It's just it. So if the peat in it is very dialed back, right?
Super light.
Yeah.
To the point where it's almost not there.
Exactly, but yet you can still tell there's a little bit of Campbelltown funk in it, though.
It's a little funky, a little sweet, a little spicy, but not even really. Really, the spice just comes from the proof.
Yeah, and it's just and maybe because it was a Jack Daniel's barrel with all the extra tropical fruit in it, it's just so easy to drink. And at 54.5, it should kind of hit you upside the head a little bit.
This blend's getting a little big, Irene.
Yeah, no, mine's smelling. Let me see. It's smelling really nice.
It is.
I'm very happy with it. So, all right, what's next? We're like shit, man. It was almost midnight, but I'm cool.
Nah, whatever. We're good.
Yeah.
I do want to remind everyone at midnight, Mark is going live with Bainbridge. So if you want to go support him, otherwise, when we wrap, we will go support him over at Northwest Bourbon.
All right.
But
do I know how to get there? Maybe.
I'll get you taken care of.
Okay, that's cool. All right. So
next, we have Kalila.
Yes, the smoking gun.
Yeah.
Which
now we're getting
end up in the next blend of something I do. I have to get over the legal issues of it. Hopefully, it'll be put to bed soon. That's all I can say about it. Yeah. Because hey, I own this
or with Douglas Lang.
I mean, I own this barrel, right? So
wait, so you're actually talking about opening the bottles and
something like that?
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. I mean, there's a legal means to do it. It's just but then at this point, it's not even Diageo anymore, right? It's actually Douglas Lang because they sold me the barrel. So, dang.
So this one's super smoky. It's actually called the Smoking Gun.
Yeah.
Let me, show it off.
So if you see that I'm like sticking my nose in this thing, because I have a mini gland, and I can do that. If you have a regular size gland, highly not recommended. Highly recommend you buy one of these glands instead.
Yeah, I do. I have them, but tonight I felt like using a big gland.
Yeah, no. So if I'm gonna just drink. If I'm gonna drink, I always use a regular gland, right? But when I'm nosing, because I don't want to have to drink a lot tonight.
Yeah, but tonight we're drinking.
We're drinking. At the end of the night, we're drinking. But I already went to the whole Lefroy thing, and I already had my dram with my haggis. So this is just freaking. You actually don't even smell smoke on the nose.
Really?
Not a lot, just a hint.
I don't know. It's smoky to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe because I came from a Lefroy tasting, so
yeah. I mean, really, compared to Lefroy, Kalila is.
But the whole thing for me with Kalila is definitely it's a great blending agent, but it's also a very smoky rather than a peaty, right?
Yeah. So how did you get into this barrel?
So they actually gave me a whole bunch of samples.
Thank you, Lou.
From Douglas Lang, right? They're like, we got some real. You have only 2 or 3. I would think you have more, Cliff.
No, he's talking about the Sagamore Manhattan. Yeah, look what great shot. I said no. A Nancy and Irene collab pick. Take my money.
Yeah, we'll talk to Nancy about that one. But yeah, no, it'll happen someday. Who knows? It'll be something fun. But yeah, so this whole Brother Douglas Dunn gave me a whole bunch of samples. And honestly, this was just pre-pandemic when this happened.
Yep.
I remember being at the back of my store. It was a sunny, warm day. It was March, whatever. It was 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 12, whatever that Tuesday was before everything got shut down. And I was tasting with a rep, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I think I'm going to buy maybe 6 barrels from you. And the idea was over the course of 3 years, and this was, nobody knew about the pandemic at the time. Just ship me this barrel in January, ship me this one in June. And in the course over 3 years, we would get through 6 barrels from Douglas Lane. And the very first barrel I picked was a 138 proof. It was from Oak Cliff. Help. It was a single grain from Port Dundas. Yes. Wow. Brain fart. It was absolutely delicious. It was like I was gonna name it something like it was like cream corn. I can't remember the name of it anymore, but it was just like you were drinking cream corn. It was absolutely delicious. But they fucked up. They sent me the thing. I go call it blah blah blah, and then they shipped they sent me the label. I'm like, yeah, it's what I wanted to call it. But then they turned around and proofed it down to 96 proof, 98 proof. And when it showed up, I'm like, what is this? I didn't sign up for this. They're like, but what we say on the label? I'm like, no, what? I still have to read your boilerplate shit? No. I would just have to make sure that you named it Whiskey Mentors correctly. So I'm like, no, I'm rejecting. I'm pretty much telling you I'm going to reject the barrel because it's not what I picked. And sure enough, so it showed up. It still had a pretty nice nose of cream corn, but the palate completely from 138 proof to like 90, whatever the hell they proofed it down. It was just like crap. I'm like, this is just like thinned out crap. Don't want it. So they actually took it back. And so I was so livid. I was like, God damn, you just like really just trash. I was not just that. They just trashed an amazing single barrel from Port Dundas. That was not cool. So I went back. I'm like, I'm just gonna buy 1 barrel from you. And of all that I had for something that was affordable, they even had something from Orkney, which I actually rejected because it was just too expensive for what it was for the age. And so the smoking gun was what I said. Okay, of all the ones I retasted, that's the only one I'll buy. If you guys straighten yourselves up, maybe we'll do business in the future, but we'll see. So. But this is really nice, though. Very happy with it. But prior to that, we did a whole bunch of the Elemental series that they had. There was a Juror, which was water. There was a Craigellachie that was fire. And then there was a Kalila 8-year, all cast strength stuff that was called fire. Air was, I don't know from where, because it never made it over in the U.S. But that was really, really nice.
All right, so let's drink this.
Yeah.
So much smoke.
Right? It's like a smoke bomb, right? That's why I call it a smoking gun. It's freaking delicious. But of course, you know what happens when we put that to the blend, though? It's just going to turn to Kalila or something from Isla. And that's okay because we have more stuff coming from there. Delicious. All right. Let's keep it going.
Sweet, a little waxy, smoky, delicious. Cheers, Thrasher, my buddy in New Jersey. Lucas got a big shot whiskey, too. Yeah, Thrasher's a freaking legend. Love that guy.
Awesome.
And Whiskey Written in the house. Throw them a sub also. No way, Irene Tan. Insert obnoxious Whiskey Tribe comment for me, but for real. Yeah, they're a channel that is the most overproduced, undersubscribed channel in WhiskeyTube. So go give Whiskey Written a sub. They've got crazy animations, crazy graphics, and need more people watching. So go check them out.
Cheers. Okay, one smoky to another.
Daniel Sutherland, yeah, there should be 100,000 people. Nobody's gonna watch. No 100,000 people are gonna watch this face. That face, yes. This face, no.
Nah, not this face either. It's all good. Hey, I'm skipping ahead because now we went from smoke to smoking Pete.
You're skipping ahead. Where are we going?
Well, we're not skipping. We're just like
Oh, let me
Hurry.
highlight it because I don't have that bottle handy.
What?
I have a pour of it, but I don't have
Okay.
that bottle
All right.
handy.
Cool. All right. So this is
I will say that bottle was surprisingly costly.
yeah. So then the tasting notes in the back. It's
Mhm.
called
Remind me, I need to
lemon.
get you a camera.
Yeah, this camera and things kind of sucks. I don't even think I have the box here. But it's called lemon custard pie. And if I could add more words to it, I would say lemon custard pie on a rocky beach in New England with a little hint of pepper. And I got to taste this before 4 days before they bottled it. So 2022 when I was over in Scotland. The same year I went to the same week I went to school in Springbank. I went to Kilchoman and I said, "Hey, can I taste my barrel?" They're like, "No, because we can't find your barrel." I'm like, "Oh, come on! I bought it like months ago, and it must be getting ready to get shipped." And sure enough, it was the warehouse one. So, so I got to sit on the barrel. They gave me a sample, and I got to taste it. It was freaking amazing.
Cheers, man. What did Cliff say? He saw that 8-year Kalila that was part of that series on a shelf in Rhode Island the other day.
Really? Damn! I sold out,
Of
man.
course, Chris. There you go. The people are getting excited for Kilchoman.
Yeah, this Kilchoman pick is freaking amazing. Absolutely love it.
So I isolated 2 Glens for the drinking, one for peated and one for not.
Yeah. No, because we just went from peaty. I have a fresh glass for Riona because she ain't peaty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll put that in the unpeated. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So lemon custard pie, because like you get so much like lemon citrus on the nose.
See, Mark down in Austin. That is my next purchase for sure.
Ah,
Well, it sounds like I'll be making more visits this year, so just let me know.
yeah, and the custard is more of the mouthfeel for me.
Mhm. The
And
nose definitely has a serious citrus thing going on.
yeah, a very lemony because I actually
Especially coming off the Kalila, there's like no
Right?
smoke on the nose.
yeah, I know. Mm.
It doesn't even taste peated after the Kalila.
Yeah. No, when you like retronasal, I get a little bit of the peat.
Mhm.
But it's such a nice balance, though, right?
Oh yeah.
But the mouthfeel is why I called it custard, because it's just so kind of mouth coating.
Yeah, it's definitely the oils are crazy.
Yeah, absolutely delicious. So it's funny because one of my customers, who's is a bit of a whiskey snob, a single malt snob, and he's like, nah. He came to the tasting when James Wills came. He's like, there was no way that a Kilchoman could be, described as a lemon custard pie. And then he tasted it. He's like, oh, damn you. Oh, the 9th and the 10th. That's right. You'll be there. Ooh.
Yeah, so I may have to get Cliff. I may have to use a mule there for Great Shot. We'll talk about that.
Cool. Yeah, no, I will be in Singapore on the 10th. So, yeah, I was going to try and
do any whiskey hunting there.
In Singapore, yeah. So actually, it was kind of funny. I think it was last September they released. It was Brass Lion City. I have the gin. It's pretty cool.
I was wondering what the whiskey market's like there compared to like Japan's got so much.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
So much old bourbon there in Japan that like one day I need to just go for sushi and old whiskey.
Yeah. But don't drink the bourbons. Drink the scotch.
No, not to drink the bourbons. To bring home the bourbons.
Yeah. No,
find old bottles of turkey and bring them home.
Yeah.
And hug them. And Evan Williams 12 for $40.
There was that. Yeah. No. So they don't have. I mean, Jack Daniels is like ridiculously expensive in Singapore. So don't buy some of that. But there's a gin bar that is really cool. It's the Atlas Gin Bar. And I'm actually trying to work on something. Can't talk about it yet, but then there's the Rendezvous Bar in the what's the name of the hotel? But go look it up. I had no idea they had a amazing whiskey bar, like several pages of really cool whiskeys and stuff. But Brass Lion City stuff, they actually released a single malt, which I was going to post on the Whiskey Tribe because I actually got to see Secret Barrel from Singapore, and I got the chance to taste it last year, and they just released it for a buckload of money this year. But also Compendium Spirits. They make gin, but they also make some really cool. It's all like kind of rice base, but some really cool stuff. That like tiny little barrels that you can buy. The master distiller and his wife, amazing people. I can't wait to visit them. I want to bring them some. Gonna bring them some Riona. I'm gonna bring them some of the gin that I made with Boston Harbor Distillery, which is gonna be pretty fun. So, yeah. So I'm gonna work on the off hours because they're 13 hours ahead, and then go sleep a few hours during the day. Wake up at 10 and create havoc until about 9 o'clock at night each night. So.
I'm wondering how many texts I'm going to get for, could you pick me up a bottle of this or that next time you're at Irene's after the stream?
It may be in March because if I'll know.
Yeah, it's not going to be in February.
No, I have so much shit going on in February.
I know.
So it hopefully be early March. And originally the Irish whiskey was supposed to come in March, so I'm kind of glad it's not going to happen until September. But that will be. Definitely clear a freaking calendar. If it happens on that day, it'll be the Tuesday after Labor Day.
So what's the big spirit in Singapore? Is it gin?
They're really doing a bit of gin over there. This last time I was there, and 2 years ago, I visited 4 or 5 different gin distilleries, and it makes sense because it's so freaking hot there, right? So gin just makes sense there. They have some breweries, microbreweries now. The regular brewery stuff, the beers are mostly lagers. They're okay.
Any distilleries?
Yeah.
I mean, whiskey distilleries.
So yes, 2 of them: the Brass Lion City and Compendium Spirits. But they're small, so they're kind of keeping it a little bit local right now. But I would love for my World Whiskey blend to be able to get some malt.
Well, are you going to visit, maybe taste a little?
I did the last time. I'm going to try and fit it into my schedule. I'm going to be in Singapore for less than, 12 days. And,
most of that's going to be
friends and other things. But
friends and family is going to be 90% of that at least.
Exactly. Yeah. That
maybe
and
shopping.
So, but I will squeeze in at least a couple of distilleries, which I'll post on my Instagram when I'm there to do that. So
I mean, that should be awesome.
Yeah, it's weird though. It's weird drink. Maybe it's not that weird because Texas does get pretty hot too. But drinking whiskey at the Whiskey Academy in Austin is just a little kind of different. But anyway, that's freaking delicious. I also didn't leave any for my blend, so I add a little bit more to the blend because that is freaking amazing. Yeah,
my blend's getting kind of huge here, Irene.
Yeah, well, you know what? Luckily, I get to bottle it up and
look at my blend here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, mine is. I don't know if you can see from here, but oh shit, yeah, no, it's getting big. All right. So before it's be too late, and we'll all turn into.
I mean, I can throw it out there. I don't know if you. So what I generally do on my streams is I kind of try and do something content-wise. And then I generally open it up to a pub style with a bunch of people on. So maybe if we wanted to bring some people on afterward, if you wanted to hang out, we could talk whiskey.
Yeah, we could hang out. But let's do Riona first, though.
Yes, of course. So let me move this to Glen.
Riona, yeah, my first.
And this is my only bottle of it. I kind of
did you buy 4 of them?
Well, I bought a whole bunch, but they were for distribution.
Oh, okay. Distributor Ben, I like that.
Hand delivery, we'll call it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's signed by master distiller / co-owner of Kings County, and even though it took quite a beating, someone named Irene Tan.
Yeah, somebody. There's so many of us.
And my camera just said, screw you.
Yeah, that's all good.
Let me fix that real quick.
Yeah, one of these things gotta get a real camera, but
well, this is actually I am worried at times this camera's becoming self-aware. This is an AI camera.
Oh. It knows what you say. Oh
Yeah.
crap! You know me. You
So,
and
and Irene did something very, very, very smart with this. This is a screw top.
me.
No. That's me turning off the tracking on my camera. Remember, I said it's AI. See,
Yeah.
I could just do this.
hmm
It literally watches,
Dang.
and I could do this, and then
It's way smarter than it should be.
exactly. It's a little scary.
Mm. Yeah, Riona. Oh man,
So
she's
why don't you talk about Riona while I show it off?
Mm.
Because there's a lot to this whiskey.
Yeah, Riona's pretty cool. So Riona was a project that with Kings County Distillery that I they approached me a couple of years ago and said, "Hey, why don't you go sell some whiskey and make us a blend?" I was like, okay, that sounds like fun. No, no restrictions on what I buy, what I blend. So I'm like, okay. So I happened to be in Scotland and Ireland that year, so I bought some Irish whiskey. I was gonna make a complete Irish, malt blend. Didn't happen that way. I came back and they go, "No, we can't sell you a 15-year for your blend. It's too precious." So I'm like furious. I'm like, what am I gonna do about this? And so while I was doing that, I said, I was walking around the store and my Virginia single malt had just shown up not so long ago. And so I blended, I think it was the port cask and the sherry cask. And then I added some Virginia to it. I swirled it around and I was like, dang, that smells pretty good. Maybe. So I handed it to Jen, my manager, and then the customer was in the store at the time. They came back 5 minutes.
For cork pop.
What's that?
Cork pop.
Yeah. We don't need that. This inexpensive bottle, we put all the money into the whiskey, not the bottle.
It's not an inexpensive bottle.
It is inexpensive, this bottle, compared to like a fancy bottle with Virginia, with Kilchoman, and even, when you got like shit kind of etched onto, this is like a Johnny Walker inexpensive bottle. But anyway, so just to go make some, so I was like, oh, crap, now I can't use my 15-year because in my mind know I need to use at least something with age to give it a finish. So it didn't happen. But when this Virginia blend came back pretty nice, and Jen came back, what is this? This is really good. I was like, oh, maybe I'm onto something. So I got off the phone with Ireland, and I'm like, okay, let me talk to Virginia. So I called my Virginia rep and I go, hey, can you sell me some whiskey bulk? They're like, what? They go, we'll get back to you. 10 minutes later, they call me back. Go, yeah, we can happen. When do you want to come? So the rest is history, right? So I take a trip down, and I think I was actually in Austin for something. Remember flying in from Austin to Virginia, and Amanda Beckwith, amazing blender. She wasn't going to be there, but she picked all these barrels for me to try. The first 4 were ex-bourbon barrels. Then they had STR cask and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I tasted with them. I go, first barrel, I'm not so impressed, but second barrel is good, third barrel is good, fourth barrel is good. And then we tasted an STR cask. I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. And then there was a PX sherry and a Oloroso sherry. Then I came back to the first. I'm like, it's a blend. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's pretty good. So I bought everything that she had picked for me. And then I had in Clonakilty, I picked a Sauternes cask, which half of it you can actually buy as a single barrel in my store. The other half, I said, please put it in a tote and send it to me. I got a Marsala cask, a Oloroso sherry cask. And I really, really wanted to buy this Bordeaux cask, and somehow they blended it when their master distiller at the time left, and then sold to the wrong Chinese. They sold to China instead, so I didn't get those barrels. They were like Chateau Margaux casks. They were amazing. But anyway, long story short, all these barrels showed up way later than they should have, and then I started playing with it. So Riona is actually a blend of 3 distilleries. 18% the Chateau Chem Sauternes cask from Clonakilty. And then there is barrel number 643, which is the ex-bourbon cask from Virginia. The STR cask, which is what you get on the nose, is just amazing. When you have had Riona, you will always forever in your mind, if you have a good nose, always recognize an SDR cask from Virginia Distilling Company. And then I think the last one is a PX sherry. And the it was a little difficult to blend because.
Have you ever done a PX pick?
No, I haven't done a PX pick yet.
Wow.
Because PX, it
I'm
can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm a fat kid. I love PX.
Yeah, no, I love PX too, but it's got to be just balanced right. That's why I ended up using it in a blend. But when I first blended it, I wanted a lot of the shit that would come in there, and I couldn't because the Irish whiskey with the Sauterne just wanted to be up front, so I had to beat her back into Tamaro, and so she got dialed back to 18%, which is what you would actually get on the finish. But being that it's only, and then we had to teaspoon in a little bit of single malt from Kings County to make it a 3 distillery blend. And then we've added it for about 8 weeks in a stainless steel. And what became of that when it finally got bottled, I actually got to taste it before we bottled it, is that the nose from the STR got a little bit dialed back until you let it breathe, and which this bottle is, half almost more than a third down. Now it has a nice nose on it again, but it gave it a really nice finish. So
I have to give my tasting note on Riona.
Go for it.
And it's apple juice. To me, it literally, this is like, you could just drink this bottle like it's just a bottle of freaking apple juice from the supermarket.
Yeah, at 121 proof.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got another ask about what you're doing down at Crowded Barrel.
So I'm making blends for them. I think I can say where they're from, but then there's other fun stuff I'm doing for them I can talk about yet until it actually happens. But so I'm gonna hopefully try and showcase Virginia Distillery and Del Bach. So definitely pass on barrels. There's so many not good barrels.
You want to talk about the famous company that you're basically persona non grata from for turning down their stuff? It might rhyme with
stay unnamed, but yes,
it might rhyme with Azarac.
Maybe. Yeah, no. So they sent me a barrel pick, a bunch of barrel picks. It was a 10-year, and I tasted them. I'm like, man, this is crap. I said, I'm pretty sure the stuff you have on the shelf is going to be better because it's blended. Right. And so I tasted it. Then I blind tasted it. Then I let my rep blind taste it. I'm like, which do you like better? Everybody picked the one that was on the shelf. So I said, please don't send me barrel picks that are subpar because I don't need them. I have a reputation to protect. So it's been many years. And then my store will be 5 years in October. And I'll most likely never see a single barrel from them. And it's okay. Because you know what? We don't need shitty whiskey. Just because I can sell something out that is well known in minutes, seconds, if I had internet sales. We have one phone line, so maybe take us 6 hours to get through 144 bottles of whiskey that people like. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. It just is like it's not good enough. I don't want it. I actually recently turned down some really kind of high end.
I got to show you something sad, Irene. Quick.
What's that?
Hug
oh
one.
No! Oh, the 10-year. Oh man, crap! It's almost all gone.
Oh no! Wow, I drink my whiskey.
Yeah, I got a few more though. Oh, so you know what we found recently in the store that's going to show up in the future charity event. Jen goes we're doing inventory, right? So she goes, "Hey, that box of Elijah Craig up there. There's 9 bottles of 12-year left. I thought I sold all of them already."
More?
How did that happen? I thought it was just some other crap that they repacked. She goes, "No, I looked up. We just recounted it." So there'll be some to be had soon. I don't know if I can pour from my Quake to this. And
so are you putting Riona in the blend, or are you keeping that?
Of course I did. Come on, they're all my stuff. So of course I'm going to put them in the blend.
All right, I'll do it too.
All right, but she may not pour real well on this. Well, I'll just pour in a hurry. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Uh-oh.
And there you go.
I shall return in a second to wipe this.
Tony's asking a loaded question.
Oh, wait. I think I can use this because you know what? It's just whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just delicious whiskey.
Oh man. Now I just sanitized
Don't
my
give her any ideas, Tony. Because I like to be
I
able to get
won't.
it, so do you.
I
So shut up.
won't. The next Ambarana thing I do will be something that I've had a hand in, and maybe it might kiss that barrel for 30 seconds.
I mean, if Jen's ever doing inventory and finds an extra bottle of that Whistle Pig 12, original,
yeah, those are all safe in different locations in the country. Hmm.
Yes, you know she has.
I think there's some in the whiskey vault still that Cliff and I like, hide in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you,
if I could sell online, man, shit, man, I probably have 1,000 barrels by now. But you know, I built a destination so you guys can come because well, it's great to sell stuff. Not that I don't want to make money. It's about that whole face-to-face stuff, right? I mean, I see Ben maybe twice a year.
No,
but it's
more than twice a year at this point. You've probably seen me 4 or 5 times this year already.
Yeah, I did.
Between Kings County
Uh-huh.
and let's see. And
then you came twice. You came for my charity event, and then you came after that. And
I was at your store at least 5 or 6 times in 2023.
Last year, yeah. And
I haven't been there yet in 2024, but that'll probably be more.
That's going to happen in March if I get my Lafroig event going here. Oh man, this smells delicious.
Look what Daniel Sutherland said.
Yeah, no Ambarana. I mean, if the next Ambarana cast, I actually have tasted some.
So I'm supposed to work tomorrow, and I'm looking at this Glen.
Yeah, this is why I do mini Glens.
Yes, I know. Oh well. So why don't you give your notes on your blend there?
Wait, if I'm gonna do that, I need to like freaking aerate it.
Look what Tony. Yeah, but Tony, the next major thing she's doing is a Lafroig tasting, and you're not into. Well, you do like peat occasionally.
Just bring some bacon. That's all good. Hey, look, I fixed.
Actually, that would be amazing if we set up a grill. I'll grill bacon for everybody.
If I had the license to do that next door,
just outside the back of the store. I'm not affiliated. I'm just grilling bacon. What are you gonna do? Call the cops?
Me? No, I'm gonna say nothing.
I'm just saying. Anyway. You put a fat man in the grill, things are gonna happen.
Wow, this is holy shit. I'm gonna have to say something tomorrow.
You put a fat man back there with a grill, things might happen. Things might just appear.
What's yours smelling like? I think it's a day though.
My palate is absolutely destroyed at this point.
Oh come on!
Let's see. What am I getting
by now?
On the nose, on the most full Glen I've ever had in my life.
Wow. Actually, I'm definitely muted right now.
The peat's coming through.
Definitely smoking.
There's a weird sweetness though.
Yeah, I got a lot of fruit on it. Like
there you go. See, everybody, just there you go. Tony's bring the bacon.
Yeah, bring the bacon, man. If everybody brings their own bacon, you're good.
I'm just saying, I'll do it. Actually, what if we just asked what do you call it? Rick's to make like 10 pounds of bacon.
I'm sure he'll do it. But literally with the bacon and the peat, man, you don't even notice the peat. We're going to break your peat meter just like we did. It took me about 4 years to break Jen's peat meter, but it's broken. Because we did a whole tasting today, and she's like, oh, fuck, man, that's not peaty at all.
It's not apple. I'm getting a fruit, but I'm trying to pick what fruit it is.
I still get apple
at all.
I get apple on it.
It is appley, but I don't want to just call it appley, but it is appley.
No. So the casinos pick of Lafroig. I brought my bottle. I knew I didn't want to taste it there. I want to taste it on fresh palate tomorrow.
They wouldn't give you a bottle?
No. I was part of the whole tasting thing. They make a single barrel. They did a rye from Knock Creek and the bourbon. The bourbon was actually pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. Grill some bacon with burgers one time. One of the biggest fires I've ever seen. I've burned several couches.
Ah.
The key to bacon is a flat top.
So the cool thing about bacon is you can just pre-cook it ahead of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because cold bacon's good. So if you already brought the whole own half pound, then the peanut stuff is going to just taste amazing.
We'll talk about it for the event.
Wow, the blend is very full palated. Holy crap!
It is.
Why am I
There's a lot
surprised?
going
Right?
on.
Because it should be. So here's the cool thing. So Simon Brooking had the same reaction when he tasted Riona for the second time today. But before that, guess what I gave him? Just because I want to see where I rate, right? I gave him a Talisker 25.
Yeah, you told me that.
Talisker 25 from 05, right? So
what was that you gave me last time? A 39 something?
Yeah, 39 something. But this is like the bomb, though, right? This is an 05.
Yeah, show it off.
Proof. It's 57.2 proof.
Show it off.
So I gave it to him, and he goes, "Oh, that's good." And I go, "Yeah, I know." And then I gave him Riona because I want to know where the hell Riona stands. I'm not saying Riona is. It's well, I'll drink that shit all day long.
It's freaking apple juice.
It's more than that. Come on, it's more than apple juice.
After all this whiskey, it's apple juice.
Well, yeah, maybe.
But or as my niece would say when she was younger, apple juice.
But he had the same reaction, so I'm pretty pleased with it. He goes, "Tell me more about this whiskey you have. What is this?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "You need to figure out how to get me into Lefroy so I can do a blend." I mean, how amazing would that be, huh? Doing a blend of Lefroy, maybe.
I mean, I'd rather you break in a Springbank, but
that ain't gonna happen. Maybe, I don't know. I'll be back into 2006 years, so 2028.
Why are you not going back to Scotland till 2028?
No. I'm gonna be going. I'll be back there way before. No. So the crew that I went to class with, we all decided the first day we were like, why the heck would anybody do this again? Right? Shovel freaking peat and do the whole barley thing, right? And it's like, yeah, no, but after when we all passed the test, we weren't going to be back. So luckily, we made a date already with them. They go, the waiting list to get into school now is at least 5 years. So we want to go back in 2028 when it's the 20th anniversary, I believe. And around about the same week, it's sometime in June, which will be freaking amazing. If it all does happen, I don't care who else is going, but I'm going. And then maybe then they'll say, well, maybe you can have a single barrel, but they really don't have enough.
Maybe I'll crash that party and just annoy them until they give it to you.
Yeah, that could happen too. That'll be really fun. But yeah, no, Springbank was an amazing experience. If you ever get a chance to if you're gonna plan your retirement or whatever you gotta do, and you love whiskey and you love Springbank, just get yourself on the list. It's an amazing experience. But if you can't do that, at least go to the Arch Hill Hotel. And yes, they don't pay me to say this. But man, they have so much good whiskey out there at the Arch Hill Hotel. Just stay there, drink all the whiskey. You don't have to Uber anywhere. Just stay there and just stumble upstairs or downstairs, wherever you end up being. So what do you think of the blend?
It's yummy.
It's very yummy. I want to save it for tomorrow. Oh, crap.
I mean, I'm sure you have a sample bottle or something you can pour it in.
I'm going to use this one, which had previously. Oh, yeah, yummy. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to pour that in there.
It's coming, Tony. All right, so some people want to come in and say hello. Are you okay
absolutely.
with that?
I'm good. I only have about 4 hours of work I need to do tomorrow morning, so I'm good.
All right. Well, I'm sure you'll know some of the people who hop in.
Cool.
Just here you go, people. If you have any questions for Irene or want to say hello, I mean, obviously you're not coming in for me. Here's the link.
Of course they're coming in for you.
No, they're not.
This wouldn't happen if you weren't here.
No, it wouldn't happen if you weren't here.
All right. It wouldn't happen if we were both here, okay? We need to both own up to it. Take credit for it.
So if you have any questions for Irene, just want to talk to Irene. Mark, if you want to talk to her about all the picks you have, click that link and come join us. Oh, here we go. Coming straight out of Arizona, we already got somebody. What's up, Z-Man?
Cheers, you two.
Cheers.
How's it going?
Great stream. How you doing?
All right, you growing a little goatee there. Look at you.
Yes, sir. I never
Got a
thought
little
bacon. I never thought bacon and peat would go together.
Oh, they do.
Oh, absolutely.
That's cool to know. I'm a bacon lover.
So eat the bacon first, chew it up good, and then have something peaty, and then it will not be peaty anymore. It'll just be
Look what
good.
Cliff said. I gotta run. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. So come earlier. I'll be there by noon. I gotta absolutely leave by 4:30.
You might know this.
but the
floating head also.
cranky pastor will be there at 2:30.
Irene, you might know this floating head.
What?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm only here for you. Only here for you.
Gotta be here for Ben though. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ben. So.
Well,
Thanks for all the whiskey.
I'm gonna say I'm sipping on a little one of these.
Ooh, nice. Oh, QSO2. Dang.
It'll stay a while. I'm gonna stay a while.
That is freaking delicious. Actually, so earlier when I was looking, that was it was Rhonda. So are we on camera now? We're still live.
We're
You're
still
still
live.
alive.
We're
You're
still
alive.
live. Right? Oh, good. Doesn't matter.
We'll give it a couple minutes, let people join, then we'll cut it to the backstage.
All right. So I'm hopefully I had volunteered to go blend at Boston Harbor Distillery for their core rye product. So
Really?
yeah,
Good for you.
just because
Just 'cause they need some help,
this is fun, man.
and they need a little assistance.
Well, no. So I'm trying. I just love Rhonda. She's just an awesome
Mark,
lady.
when are you gonna get a chance to talk to Irene? Just pop on from your phone.
Yes.
He's probably got the most picks besides Cliff well, besides the tribe in Texas.
Yeah,
I bet
is it
he's
up?
got the second most amount of your picks in Texas compared to the
Nice. Are you in Austin or in?
Austin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's in Austin.
I should be back that way Sunday. If everything goes the way I want it to go, I should be there on April 7th.
Yeah, he's our connection to the tribe. He's our connection. to
Nice.
Still Austin picking up Nancy picks.
Oh,
Yes.
Irene, have you spoken about
Move
your
on what?
connection with the tribe?
With the tribe?
Yeah, she did in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
a
there
little
for
bit.
everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to be the spirit hunter. Basically, I'm going to be the lead blender since Daniel was busy at school.
Right.
So my goal is to make them hopefully 4 blends a year. And I hope to make all the blends different enough. I'm trying to work with different distilleries. So
Well, that's definitely going to get me to get some of their products more. So, like,
yeah,
I take the time out of my life to drive Ben and myself up to Connecticut to get your picks. Now that you're picking for Crowded Barrel, I'll definitely be getting some more there too.
yeah. I'm kind of excited about it because now it's actually like other people can get access to my stuff, right? Because and you can't get it from my store because it literally is
couple of cases.
No, you have to go to Connecticut.
Yeah, can't you get a couple of cases of things? Come
No, that's not
on.
how it works.
And don't.
Oh,
No,
man,
not for
that's
the store, just for friends and family.
yeah, friends and
Yeah,
family.
no. So all of that has to go through the tribe, but by the same token, though, right? So I'm actually going to be out there sourcing whiskey. I'm going to be basically double dipping. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, I hope to do Daniel proud. Because the whole thing of
Yeah,
it
well,
is
she's smart enough to like bourbon too.
It
Yeah.
was sad. So that's the whole cool thing. So right now I'm working with a bunch of different distilleries to try and like bring up the whole thing on American single malt because it's trying to be a thing and nobody wants to let it be. So I want to try and help that category. But definitely when I have access to other whiskeys like bourbons, rye, and other things,
So I have
I'm hoping to
I
make
have
that
a bit of a loaded question because it would bring you back here.
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing anything else or incorporating Long Island spirits?
That definitely can happen because they're small enough for me. And Rich Stabile is an awesome guy. I met him years ago. And like when Jen and I showed up one day, I was like, I want to make some barrels. He had like 12 single barrels, and that's how I ended up with a Rough Rider rye, right? So yeah, no, so
Right.
definitely, he's definitely. I just need to reach out to him. So my thing is,
He's got some old stuff. I actually have sorry if anybody gets a view here. I
That's
actually
okay.
have one of their let's see if I can get this without knocking stuff over. Here we go. He's actually got some 8-year stuff now.
yeah.
And 9-year.
Wow.
No, he's got some good stuff. Yeah, no, he's definitely a good ally. But I'm just trying to.
And look at the color on this.
Oh, holy
So,
shit!
yeah.
Yeah,
Too dark.
that's beautiful.
50, this barrel yielded 61 bottles.
Wow. Is it? Is it
53-gallon barrel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a low yield.
Mm.
So I'm just saying, if you wanted to come visit, I don't know
No, I
anybody who
will.
could take you to some hidden Scotch locations and stuff too. You know.
I will. So this is a problem for me, right? So like I'm looking at my schedule already. It's only January. I never really knew what my schedule was going to be in December. Like February is I'm all out, and April I'm already all out. And I thought I was going to get to stay home all of March because I got projects in the house. But I already got a couple of things that are going to draw me away. But for good reason. I think it's going to be awesome. So I always feel like I need to pay it forward. Right. When I went to Scotland 2 years ago, I wanted to go to school in at Springbank. Did I have to do that? No. But then I took an extra week and changed, and I spent time in Islay. I spent time in Glasgow. But those are starting to come back to me. Right. The people I met along the way, amazing people, really good connections, and it's kind of helped me kind of build this whole network of whiskey people all over the world, just so that I can hopefully bring good whiskey to everybody, and hopefully at an affordable price.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really cool stuff I can't talk about yet, but I was like, wow, man, I didn't know 2 years ago when I did this, it was going to lead to this,
Good for you, Irene. Good
Just
for
as
you.
a guy,
Good for
like
you.
way downstream from what you produce, from what you've
What's that?
selected. From just a guy, like way down
Mm-hmm.
on the tier of what you've selected.
Yep.
I enjoy every single one of your bottles.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They've always been amazing. And the knowledge that I've gained from just going to your store and sharing with you
Yep.
different whiskeys that you shared with me and Ben and everyone else that was around. Like, you are a pillar of the community and are amazing. Love you.
And Irene, just to get on here and tell people what you've done and how you go about doing it, that is just totally cool. Totally cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I really do enjoy that. So it's kind of funny. So actually, when I went and I took a marketing course at the Wizard Academy, and it made you do this whole personality, test kind of thing. And I'm like, I've always known I'm an introvert. I really don't like people, but I love my whiskey people. I really do. It's so bizarre. I mean, there's a few and far between. I think I've only thrown maybe 2 people out of my store because they were not our kind.
Now that's a story I want to hear on the after party.
But but everybody else is just great, right? Because everybody's we're all at different levels where we start whiskey and wherever we meet. But the whole
The
something I
backroom's
love
going
about it is just like people just love to share, and
Yeah,
what else?
Definitely.
Yeah, where else in the world do you do like people? They have like a $5,000 bottle they want to share with you because they're so freaking proud they got this thing. Whether it's good or bad doesn't matter, right? It's the fact that it's just like I want to share this with you because I've had this experience with it and there's cool stories that go with it, right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, it helps build community, which in our day and age, man, there's a lot of shit going on. Which politics, religion, and home drama aside. It's great that whiskey helps us all just come together and chill, like what we did tonight, right? It's like nobody expects anything different. We're just here to talk whiskey, share our stories, and it's good.
So speaking of talking whiskey, I got to bring in your biggest fan in Austin.
Yeah. Hey,
sure.
man.
And I also got to bring in the biggest guns in whiskey tube, T-Rob.
And T-Rob.
Yeah, Irene, look what he's holding up in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a nice
I
tube.
convinced
Where's
him
the
he's got to
bottle?
work in 7 hours, but I'm like, when are you going to get to talk to Irene?
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Never.
Oh, I can sleep when I'm dead. Come on. Jeez.
Yeah.
Now you can
Irene,
say you're on a stream with her. So
there you go. I have to say I've never had a chance to taste any of your products, but I've loved what you said tonight. I've been following you for a while, and I think you're doing some great stuff.
Thank you.
T-Rob, I'll fix that. That's not acceptable.
So if all works out, I will be in Austin on August 7th. I'll get go hang out in the hopefully the Alchemy Bar by then, or maybe the Fang Feather, whichever. I should get in. It's a crazy schedule I'm on, and that's why I'm like I can't commit to it yet. I know I'll be in Austin, but I have to go to Jack Daniels, I think, and the Wednesday to pick potentially a single barrel rye from them, and then maybe not. I'm gonna see. And then Thursday, I think I'm going to be in Louisville with a couple of the small distilleries, maybe pick a barrel then too. And then Friday, hop my ass over
Irene
to
Jack pick. And I may be going to Jack and doing my own pick in April.
And
I'm more excited for yours.
Who knows? I told him, please don't make those medallions set, because what if I reject you? I know you're Jack Daniels, I will still reject you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when you go to Jack, they basically they just go nuts.
I don't know.
And the rye is just such a different product.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping the rye will work for me. But then I'm going to be at.
Have you tasted much of this single barrel rye?
What's that?
Have you tasted much of this single barrel rye?
I actually had some of the vault last time I was there. It still has banana notes on it.
No. I'll bring some bottles next time.
Yeah.
Speaking of bringing bottles, I got to bring whiskey nosing. What's up, Marty?
Marty.
Hey
Marty.
guys,
Marty.
Here, brother.
I've enjoyed watching Irene and listening to her tonight, but I've got to give a big shout out to Tony. I haven't seen Tony in a year or so. As in being on stream with him, man.
Cool.
What's up, buddy? How you
Hang on,
doing?
I got to make this Brady Bunch style. We got to put out.
There you go. There you go.
I like it. That's cool. But anyway, so I may be at I will be if all works out that way. Mexico's a little crazy. Up in Fort Collins, maybe for another barrel of Old Elk, and maybe some bulk whiskey from them. I'm gonna go visit hopefully Boulder Spirits because I hear they make some fun stuff. And then if it all really technically works out, maybe at Lost Whiskey to see what they got for me.
We got to break you over to Andalusia.
Yeah, that too. Oh, I got some fun stuff at Andalusia. I got a barrel from Andalusia's coming, and then
what?
Head down, yeah, I'll talk about it in a minute. Then I'm gonna head down to my other client that I blended technically for nothing. At rye place, Lock and Co. I did a blend for them a year ago, and hopefully we'll release it that Saturday. And then that Sunday, and I'm gonna hop on plane and go to Austin. So, if you're anywhere near Austin on August 7th, I will hope to see you guys there.
This guy lives there.
Oh yeah, I'm
I'll see
probably
you
30
there.
minutes from Fang and Feather.
Cool. Yeah.
Mark,
so
you might want to put August 7th on your calendar. I'm just saying.
Okay.
August
Oh
who?
yeah, I'll be there. I
April
saw
7th,
Irene the
August
last
7th, April
time
7th.
Oh, wait,
for
April
Bachelor's
7th,
Ball
you
this
said?
year.
April 7th.
Oh, I thought
I'm
you
trying,
said
to, I'm
August.
trying to get to the eclipse. So
Oh, April 7th.
April 7th. They're like coming up soon. That's why
Oh,
I don't know yet until I book my tickets. I can't say I'm going to be there because it all
April
has
is much
kind of
better than
fallen.
August here in Texas.
Yeah,
sure.
So I'm
I
thinking,
don't wanna be
Irene,
in Texas in August.
Wait,
In August,
we've
I'll
been
actually
live for over 2 hours. How
Huh?
about we
Yeah.
have this as a finale?
Oh shit! Let me go get mine.
Fox.
I shall
All
be
right.
back. 'Cause
What is it,
that
Ben?
Delicious.
What is that?
This is
it's a
Irene.
Compass
I'll
Box
show it
blend.
off while we're waiting for her to come back. This is Irene's Compass Box blend. This is a Glasgow
that's
Compass
good,
Box, finished
Wow.
in a sherry seasoned Oloroso butt, known as
Nice.
QS01, our daily dram.
Mm.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
So
Great day.
it is peated. Yeah,
Cheers, brother.
I'm gonna pour that while she
Mm.
goes and gets hers, and I'm thinking we'll have a little pour of this, and then we'll go to the after party.
Well, I'm gonna pour a little more on Putnam.
There you go.
Putnam.
I've not tried that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I'm gonna finish my night with a bourbon because it's gonna taste so sweet after all this. It's gonna be like drinking candy.
All right, new glass.
Putnam Rye. This is a QS02 from Irene.
Yeah, those are long gone.
Nice.
I know. I have this
yeah.
one left.
Wow, that's delicious.
So I talked about it a little bit. So do you know what the sourcing is on this?
On what?
On the daily dram.
The Daily Dram? I don't know. I know it's an I think it's sherry cask.
It says Oloroso right on it.
Yeah, it's two other casks. It has single marrying cask. And I got half of the batch, and somebody else got the other half of the batch. So I'm so hoping that
Hey,
the
Irene,
next-
when you do a half batch of something like that special, how many bottles does that yield?
this one's like 300 bottles.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
So
a
you
good
got
size.
100. Okay.
Yeah, just say it, Marty. You let me know.
Yeah.
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 So this I call the
I disperse Irene's whiskey far and wide because I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Anybody want to take a vote on
Oh,
that?
you're a helpful, kind soul, and we appreciate it.
No, you're a fucking idiot. You're right.
yeah.
I'm an idiot because I lay out the money.
You do
I
use
paid you
that.
back. Come
Personal
on. What the
interest
heck?
on it.
Go.
Yeah, Mark, you did.
What the hell?
Mm,
Speaking of which, I got to get a hand delivery to you, don't I? Or have I gotten to you?
wow. Hey,
Mark.
good choice, Ben. This is like a nice finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. That's good stuff there, Barney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Bill's in Houston. He's like, I can make that April drive.
There you go.
Well,
would
come
be
on
cute.
It's
over.
only
Oh, April. Shit, man. Yeah, no, April, definitely.
3.5
I will
hours.
definitely post as soon as I know that's gonna. No,
Or
no,
just let me know and I'll relay it to the text.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. Because I don't
I'm
want
not on
to
Instagram, so I have no clue on any of that.
I kind of talk to these guys a lot weirdly.
Cool. Yeah, I'll let you know as soon as I book my tickets. Because there's so many moving parts. So.
Oh, yeah.
After
You're
all the
busy.
smoke we've had, this just smells sweet.
Yeah.
No,
That's like candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, and it's definitely.
I would
it's
definitely say there's a little bit of a marzipan thing going on.
Yeah. Definitely priced to be a daily dram though.
Yeah, what is it? It's like $50 or something like that.
Nah,
Really?
it's like 63
Okay,
or 64
whatever.
or something.
still, man.
Yeah, for how good it tastes, man.
Yeah.
I will say a buddy of mine cheated. He got one that I have coming. It's a somehow they told him what the sourcing was.
Mhm.
It's a linkwood.
Wow. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could get to the bottom of it. I just need to get to John. He just wasn't here this year. So I'm trying to get him to my store actually because I got a ton of Compass Box stuff.
Can you get a bridge set up so we don't have to fucking drive around anymore?
Maybe.
Please.
I mean, literally, for those who don't know, so Irene is in Connecticut up north, and I'm on Long Island, and there's literally 20 miles of water between us. And there's been, like, over the last century, there's been at least 10 attempts to build a bridge or a tunnel across that. And all of them have failed due to NIMBY.
Oh, gosh.
Not in my backyard.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just insanity because it would completely change the lives of people in Connecticut and Long Island.
Yeah.
Millions of people, roughly. Yeah.
I know. Because I worked there. I worked on Long Island and from 05 to 07. I was on a contract with Parker Hannafin. I was working at Hop Hog.
Yeah.
And
down the road from where I used to work at CA.
Yeah. Wow. And I literally would have to like
in the same town.
Take the freaking ferry over, you know, and then the first year my accountant goes, you need to learn to drive around. I'm like, why? He goes, and this was 05. I think he's like, you spent like $6,000 just on ferry fees. I'm
ferry,
like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. There is a ferry, but the ferry since then. So back then it was $6,000. Right now it would probably be $20,000.
Easy. So the cool thing is I still have coupons because I was a commuter. So I got these coupons and it's only $35 each way. So I still have, I think I have 3 tickets left. And I have the passenger ones also for my passengers. So I just recently when I went to pick my barrel of the Rough Rider for
So was that in COVID or pre-COVID? I can't believe how long you've had that.
That was during COVID.
You've had that barrel for years, and that's stupid.
2.5 years, which is crazy. Because so here's the deal, though, right? It's not a fancy label, but I mean, when you always have 50-something barrels going at the same time,
it's one of the cheapest picks you have.
People just miss stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. So this year, I'm gonna force you all to drink all the whiskey barrels I picked because it's good stuff. I mean,
drink it anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this
you don't have to twist my arm much.
Yeah, we have a lot of good stuff out there. So let's get a boat. I had a boat. Too much money. If you got a boat, you got no money to buy booze. So I gave him my boat. Get a kayak.
Yeah, boat stands for break out another 1,000.
Yeah.
What is a boat? A hole in water you throw money in.
Exactly.
When they say that the 2 best days for a boat owner is Dave Bosman and Dave Sells.
That's so true.
Yeah,
so I sold my boat and I got a kayak.
The 2 greatest days of a boat owner's life: the day they buy a boat and the day they sell a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just buy a kayak that can take 8-foot waves, and you're good. Because I got an 18-foot, I got 2 18 feet. It's a Necky Chatham 18, and they go, "You're gonna take 8-foot waves." I'm like, "Who the hell is gonna be crazy enough to go out there?" There's not enough whiskey you can drink to make you go out there in 8-foot waves, but you get to Long Island to make score.
So our buddy Tommy D of Michigan, who's going to be moving to Japan.
Yeah,
in the next year. Look at all you beautiful people, and I mean only Irene.
Nice.
Oh, there he is! Finally, Irish whiskey Yoda in the house, Toronto.
All right.
Couldn't even post towards some Loch Lomond 18 after my Burns night dinner.
Nice. Cheers.
Watch the other.
So, what bourbon are you doing for the finish?
I'm thinking I'll do that in the after party because I have so much freaking whiskey here. Look at this.
I know. I put mine in the bottle. I'm gonna taste it tomorrow.
I was actually gonna say. We have 7 people on. We still have 3 slots available. We've been live for 2.5 hours. I think it's time to go to the after party. What do you think?
I missed the bourbon part. I went Springbank. What the heck?
He went Springbank.
Oh, party works. I'm gonna find me my bottle of bourbon.
So if anybody wants to come hang out with Irene, there's a couple spots left. I want to say thank you for hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
2.5 hours later.
Absolutely, man. Great show.
Irene and I have talked about this for a long time. Maybe we'll do a sequel with another topic in the future. Something else that people wouldn't expect. Maybe Tennessee.
Say what?
Hey, Irene, we're going to hold Ben responsible to get us the picks. So That's how that shit's gonna work.
All right, everybody. The link's pinned if you want to hang out, and if you're not, please go over to Northwest Bourbon, throw him a like. He's got Bainbridge Organic Distillery on. Throw him a cheers, throw him a like. And everybody, thanks for joining us tonight.
Cheers, Irene. Thank you.
Before we leave,
guys,
there's
man.
Big Vic. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
From,
Irene,
California in the house. Cheers, Vic. And with that, we're going to the after party. Cheers, y'all.
Right.